everyone. Welcome to another brand new live episode of the Outlaw Nation Show here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha, and I welcome you to my show. Thank you so much for coming to my show. I really appreciate you all stopping by tonight. I'm so excited to have my guest that I'm going to introduce in just a little bit to be on the show. It's a gentleman that I've been, thinking about having on the show for quite some time. Had to work out some of the timing, and it has come to pass. So you all are in for a fun show tonight. Can't wait for you all to enjoy our banter and enjoy our conversations. Never know where it's going to go. For those of you who joined us last week for Video Drew's show, that was a lot of fun. We talked about so many different things. It went into so many different directions, and that's what I love to do. I just enjoy conversation with people, and I'm very honored and blessed that all of you are joining me here live to enjoy this conversation with my friend Brett Sheridan. We'll introduce him officially in just a little bit. Just to let you know, hope you all are doing well. How are things? How is your world? How is your life going, my little Outlaw Nation people? My Nationettes? Is Nationettes? No, I guess not. My Outlaws. My little Outlaws. How are y'all doing? Are you getting vaccinated? Are you wearing your mask? Are you feeling okay? Are you getting back in the rhythm? Are you sensing that we're coming back to normal as a populace? How many road rage incidents have you been involved in over the last week now that we're getting back into the rhythm of things? Have you been going to stores and seeing how many people are around the stores? Have you been seeing all of that? It's weird to see how we're just slowly going back to normal. I hope you all are feeling good about that. And it just was announced, I think, today that California economy will be fully open, I think, by April 15th. Or May 15th, one of those two dates. I know I saw that. So crazy to think about that that's already starting to happen here in California when it was been shut down for so long. So not that you would know it, to be honest with you, if you drive around the streets, but it's great to see that that's all happening. Just a little bit of a programming note for those of you who are big WWE fans. I know some of you might be watching simultaneously right now with the Hall of Fame ceremony. Aaron Turner and I recorded our NXT preview for Stand and Deliver, our TakeOver preview. That will drop tomorrow morning, just a half-hour preview talking about all the matches that are happening over the next couple of days, and then we will record one and drop it on Friday for WrestleMania. And also got Geek Buddies coming up tomorrow. Also got Impolite Truths coming up Thursday night. And I've got an announcement. If things kind of square themselves away, I've got an announcement for the new show that's coming to the Outlaw Nation. Hopefully we can announce it by the end of this week or beginning of next week. And I can't wait for you all to see the show we're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you all are going to love it. And then another great co-host joining me to jump onto that show. And we're looking at maybe dropping it on Friday nights or maybe Sunday nights, kind of recapping. Well, I don't want to give anything away. You'll find out when we give the announcement. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Streamlabs and the Super Chats are open. Start getting them in now. For those of you going to come in live, if you're an Outlaw Nation patron at the $10 and above level, and you see there how to be a patron, $10 and above level, you get to come in live first to ask your questions of me and Brett Sheridan. And also, if you're just watching along, after we get through the $10 and above patrons, you can come in live to ask questions of us as well. So all of that is in motion. The address is right there on the screen for the Streamlabs. It's in the description of this video, and it's also pinned to the chat. So start sending in your questions now. Let's have a fun night. Let's have a good night. Let's have a profitable night. And maybe we'll get to some stories as we hit certain goals that you all might want to hear about. Let's do that as well. All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please, I want to welcome to the show a gentleman I've gotten to know in this world of the Schmodown and the world of Schmoes know, a guy who's always kind of made me fall off my seat laughing, always is quick on his feet, with a lot of knowledge and a lot of intelligence about comedy. I did some research for that. I had no idea. He's got all these kinds of awards for sketch comedy. He's been a stand-up for such a long time. He's really built his niche there in the world of comedy, and people love him. And of course, everybody in the Schmosphere is a massive fan of the Schmoes universe, is a massive fan of this man. And I can't wait to sit down here on the Outlaw Nation show and have some fun conversations. You know him as Mr. Wiggly. You know him as the only series regular on SEN Live. You also know him by his other persona, and that's Zaflertinflouse. But you most importantly know him as an awesome dude with a great bit of warmth to his energy, and I'm looking forward to have him on the show. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Outlaw Nation show, Brett Sheridan. Brett, how are you?
What's up? I'm good. This is really nice. It's a nice looking place you got here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. How are things? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your world treating you, brother man?
Good. Yeah, I mean, things are starting to get somewhat back to a little bit of normalcy. Like, my son's doing half-day hybrid, which kind of came at me really fast, but I kind of had to go, okay, it's ready. They wear masks all day. He's playing soccer, masked up the whole time. Had a game last weekend. Got completely destroyed, but that's another story. That's how we learn. That's how we learn to play better.
That's true.
I think they were playing the older. Yeah. So he's U14. It was the U16 team. We'll make that excuse, but yeah, doing great and great to be here.
That's awesome, man. I love having you here. It's great to hear about that. I'm sorry your son lost in soccer match, but did you sense that the parent was there battles between the mask and the unmasked? Were the unmasked standing in a certain area and the mask were standing away from them a certain area, or was it pretty much a mix?
It was pretty good. It was a good amount. I mean, I think everybody that's ready to get back into things like this are also responsible, I think, kind of as well. I mean, I didn't see anybody really not. I mean, the parents, we spread out. The kids all keep them on. I don't even think they're technically supposed to have to all the time now, but it's been quite chilly at night in Los Angeles. And it's funny, they actually enjoy wearing. My daughter plays too, and she goes, I just keep it on because it keeps my face warm. So, you know, good. Yeah. So I know they're not completely immune, but, you know, it's, I had to take a leap at some point, and my wife and I are fully vaccinated, and, you know, it's just, we're getting there. We're getting back to kind of normal, which is feeling it's a weight, but it's also a lifting of a pressure. It's a combination. I think they're canceling each other out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. By the way, Mark Ellis coming in here, dropping a little super chat. He said, here for Sheridan's NBA analysis. Yeah, Alice, the reason we started at 5:30 today is because I was doing NBA Top Shot, another show like that with Mark Ellis here covering the first quarter of the Sixers Celtics game. Brett, were you able to do any prop betting at all tonight during the NBA Top Shot?
I did, and I got a big fat goose egg on the thing. I don't even know. I didn't get a single. My first one, I almost won, I think. But this one, I'm just going, okay, what did Rocha say? Sure, I'll go with that one. And maybe I'm betting a little too high. Maybe I'm throwing too many 250s in there, but I'll get my Top Shot packs one of these days.
Well, Thanos 69 won. We were hoping you were Thanos 69 just for the comedy of that, but sadly it seems like it wasn't. So thank you, Mark, for the kind contribution. And please come on, ladies and gentlemen, send in your Streamlabs super chats as we go along. Gonna have a lot of questions for Brett Sheridan. I know you've got a lot of questions you want to ask him and see what's going on in his world. So how are you kind of like navigating this situation now? The SEN Live is happening. I saw you pop up in the FCL. Like, are you starting to kind of climb out of the shell and do more things? Are you feeling more comfortable doing more things? Is there any possibility that you're looking to maybe get out there and do some stand-up again? What's your situation as things are starting to open up?
Well, the sad truth of the pandemic was that I was starting to get out there, thankfully, to our friend Mark Ellis. So I got 2 shows under my belt. I was like, I kind of got my confidence back. Got to perform for my sister in New York, which was huge. You know, she lived in Brooklyn, and even though we were doing the stuff in Manhattan, I stayed with her in her postage stamp sized Brooklyn apartment. She slept in the hallway, which was this big, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, I was ready, and Mark was saying, hey, you know, we're going to be doing more of these. I'd like you to do it, and then just shoop. Nothing. So I definitely would be willing and ready to get back into that. Writing bits I haven't done much of. I'm like, maybe I should start getting on that element of it. But stuff comes to you in the moment on the trips.
You've won some awards here back in 2016 for like Sketch of the Year and all of this. Like, what made you? Did you stop doing sketch stuff? Did you kind of get bored with it? You see, sketch seems to be coming back even harder than ever over the last couple of years. Do you sense that there's a change here, that people are starting to enjoy these more layered sketch performances?
Well, it was the Acme where I did it at. We were trying to. It was kind of like an SNL format where we would have like different, BC celebrity kind of, not to classify everybody's a star, but like a lot of soap stars, but a lot of great people to work with. I mean, there was some big, like Bryan Cranston did a show with us.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had some. Everybody that did it. I don't want to. We had. She was did one of the judge shows, and there's 100 of them. I can't think of her name now, but everyone who did it was super fun. And I did one with Robert Forster. There's a film sketch that I wrote with Robert Forster, and he was so cool and so fun to work with. And the reason it's just the theater just didn't. Make money. It was something that he took a big leap with this. We did it live. We had cameras. We did in between stuff. And it just, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be, especially but I mean, we're starting to see it, maybe I think starting to come back more and more as SNL comes back into prominence again. You know how it is. It's always the up and down with that show. And it seems like people are back in tune with what they're doing over there. Chris Taylor sent in and said, you make me laugh every time on SEN, Brett.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's been the transition for you to be on SEN? Like this has been an interesting journey for you, right? I mean, Christian kind of brought you over with him as he went over there, and you were kind of coming back into things, right? And then Christian kind of started having you more on Collider Live, and then moved you over to SEN. Were you excited? I mean, because you've been part of the Schmoes Know show as well. So did you have any kind of trepidation kind of going into a situation where it would be you and him and then like assorted other people, but you'd be the consistent guy on the show?
Well, it was interesting because like I did Schmoes, and I was only doing like it was only once a week, like the Schmoes Know show, right? And that was a big production. I was late the first day. I'm like, it takes how long to get to Burbank at this time of night? I was thrown in a chair, and immediately I had no idea what the show was. I had never seen one. I made my first joke, which I don't think Chris Stuckman understood, and he actually publicly apologized to me for the way he reacted, because he said something about watching Man of Steel 3 times, but he didn't like it the first. And I was like, "Why did you watch a movie you didn't like 3 times?" And everybody's kind of quiet, and he's like, "Well, I'm a lover of movie. I wanted to see my wife wanted to see." Like he went through this whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, that was just a joke, bro." But I guess so. I was a little rough start with that one, but that was super fun. And then we transitioned, and I don't think I was immediately when we did the Collider, or I might have been. God, it's been a while. Immediately in that little thing, and I was only doing a couple days, and I got more and more, and then suddenly I just was like I couldn't do the drive, and then I started to wear out on it, and then I just suddenly kind of I don't think I was asked to leave, but I was encouraged to not be there anymore. I don't think they wanted to pay for that many people. They wanted kind of just, the main people to be there, is the way I remember it. I'm nothing against anybody that works for Collider, because I know you have held a great relationship with them. I wouldn't want to badmouth, but I wasn't really there.
Don't get me in trouble.
But back then, I mean, even with that, I was just in the background, like I didn't comment on I commented on movies and things even less back then.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I mean, that's something you've been one of these guys that's been able to survive in this sphere and not have to do all the other shit everyone else seems to be dying and desperate. Get me the screeners, get me the links. I got to put my review up. I got to put my trailer reaction up. And here's Brett on the sideline going, ba-bang, I didn't even see that thing. Ba-bang. How is it just, I'm chalking up to the fact that you just radiate a kind of warmth that people just want to be around, man. And people want to watch and enjoy. Where do you think that comes from, bro?
Well, I appreciate that. And I think the big thing was, and to go back to then the Schmoes Know, is that Christian and Mark are no longer schmoes.
Ooh.
Okay. So like they were started out as just regular schmoes who liked movies, right?
Yeah, right.
But then they became like legit movie reviewers. So Christian wanted to throw an actual schmo who didn't know much about movie and the everyman. And that's kind of what I was there for. And I don't think people got that from the beginning, that I was there to show that, the normal people don't care about box office ratings. Normal people don't, jump at the chance to see a trailer and things like that. So it took it was a long transition for people to start to, and I think SEN, where it's finally where I was well accepted. And there was a lot of me actually having to comment on the movies when it got down to just me and Christian, because he's like, you got to talk more, bro, because I can't just talk for 2 hours. So yeah, it's something I've grown into,
I think you're doing great. I love being able to do the shows with you, and whether I'm either next to you as a pundit or a guest on the show or hosting the show, it's always fun because I know I'm in good hands. I know you're going to come up with something funny. For sure. So that saves my butt for sure. What do you think? You look at the situation now, where do you think we are in the state of comedy? So many people have started to, kind of push back against it, want changes. And of course, we're on the other side of the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement. And of course, there was the anti-Asian hate, stop the anti-Asian hate that was happening, all of that. So, and that's affected the world of comedy as well. We've seen Tina Fey get called out for some of the Asian jokes she's told on 30 Rock. We've seen episodes get pulled down on shows, as you would think, innocent as Scrubs, getting shows pulled down and what have you. And do you think we're in a transition time into you can still be edgy, but you don't have to necessarily go for the low-hanging fruit? Or do you think there's a pushback on this? Because I interviewed Jamie Kennedy the other day, and he just is so done with this stuff. Where are you about it right now?
I think that you need to be cognizant of like what's going on in the world, and you can't just say, "Oh no, this cancel culture bullshit," because I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly trying to teach, my parents the new terms and the new thing. My daughter's teaching me things. She goes, "Oh, did you know there's this many genders? There's this, and this," and so it's like, you've got to be. It's like you can't just listen to your old person music. You kind of know what the kids like these days, and what the kids like these days is uplifting people of color and people of different genders. So I have no problem with that, and I think I can adjust my comedy in a way. But I use sometimes comedy, like with Elmo. I use it in a way as like Stephen Colbert did with his Colbert Report, where I'm saying certain things as somebody else, but commenting on these. So that's how I make it a little watered down in that sense, So
how did you know that this is what you wanted to do? Like, you're from Nebraska, you grew up in Nebraska, you've won fellowships, scholarships, and what have you. It's pretty incredible stuff. Like, how did you, like, when did it hit you that this is something you really wanted to do? Were you a kid? Were you in your teens? Like, when that comedy bug bite your ass hardcore?
Well, if this was my, The Voice little montage, I guess, my parents would be saying that he's been acting since he was in the crib and all that, or, but I at an early age, I did enjoy making people laugh. I remember the first time was we were playing The Farmer in the Dell, and I played the cheese, and I squatted down and, as if I were a piece of cheese, and I heard the kids all laughed at me, with me. I'm not sure, but I knew I liked that sound, So it was something that I've loved making people laugh for a long time. I loved to make people laugh when they were sad. I often go to comedy when there's some sadness, and I think there is a lot of sadness based in comedy. So it was a coping mechanism at times, and it was it's also something that I enjoyed. But it's just I've always wanted to be in the comedic business from the time I can remember, wanting to actually do something in for a job, I guess, doing something like that. That it was a possibility.
You speak about coping. Did you have a tough upbringing? Did you have a tough situation in school? What was when you speak about coping mechanisms? What was causing the desire to cope?
again, my mom listens to everything and she's going to check this out. She does not like to hear the stories of me getting picked on and stuff like that, because she doesn't remember it, because of course I hit a lot of that, but I was weird. I mean, I didn't like sports, I didn't
in Nebraska. That's not easy.
Yeah, I didn't. Never an NFL or never a Cornhusker football game. I enjoyed theater. I did church plays. I was in the Boy Scouts, which Boy Scouts got made fun of horribly. And I think it's the outfits, to tell you the truth. Maybe if they just would have switched that up. There's some other issues they're having these days. Let's say I didn't deal with any of those in my Boy Scouting days. I will say that, but yeah, I just there were the jocks, there were the nerds, and there were I wasn't anything. I was just I wasn't super smart, but I wasn't into it. I wasn't fanatic about anything like, comic books or anything. And, so it was just, I just kind of fell in this nothing zone of just like, I like to make people laugh. And mostly who I made laugh were the teachers that didn't want to laugh, but I could. That was my favorite thing, was to break like the hardest teachers.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, I had this one. She just never. Nobody could get her to laugh, and it was one time, I can't remember the joke or whatever, but she goes, "Damn it, grunt!" Like she started to break, and I was like, "I did it!"
Did you find that this was what were you like in your schoolwork? Were you okay at school, or did you have trouble with school, so the comedy was kind of your way of coping with that as well?
I did well in school. I wasn't, I think like junior high was rough. Junior high was the rough time. High school, I found a close-knit friends in theater, but we collectively got made fun of by other people as a group. But then a funny story about, grades is that I walked into the honor roll to get my sash. It was like graduating, and I, walked in there, and people thought I was doing a goof, because prior to that, I snuck into as many school photos as I could. I was like, I somehow even made it, I think, into like the women's volleyball team or something like that school photo. And people are like, Sheridan's, and I'm like, no, actually, I have a great grade point average. They're like, oh, that's okay.
Wait, how the fuck do you stick onto the woman's volleyball?
I just kind of snuck in the back, hid down behind somebody. They went up to snap it, gave it, the hardest thing was getting the passes to go. You had to get out of certain classes to go.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm an assistant coach on the team. I gotta take the picture.
Sorry.
That's awesome. Holy shit. Well, when you were coming out of high school, did you have an idea? Like, what was influencing you early on during your junior high and high school in terms of comedy? Were you buying cassettes? Were you watching stuff on television? Were you into sketches more than stand-ups? What was influencing your comedy voice as it was developing at a young age?
It was always SNL. SNL was just my go-to, and comedic films, most of the time. But yeah, I really wanted to. What I wanted to do was to move to New York and audition for SNL.
Wow.
And, I didn't want to go to college. I thought college was a waste of time, and I proved them right. But no, my mother said, you have to have a backup plan, which the backup plan that I got from going to college gave me the ability to joke about it in stand-up. Because now this is going to shock a lot of people. This was a joke back in 1999 that I said I had a $60,000 piece of paper that wouldn't get me a second round interview at Kookaroo, Kookaroo is no longer around. It's a chicken place in LA. And college for $60,000 seemed like a lot at the time, but not these days.
Oh no,
not these days.
You got off cheap. Cheap and compared to my college debt, that's for sure. When you so that was your inclination, but was there someone you followed the most out of SNL? Was there anybody that you really kind of modeled your stuff after, or that you admired as a lover of comedy?
I mean, it started with Belushi. It went into Farley, Will Ferrell, just the guys that were just all over the place. High energy,
out there with their stuff. High energy. Yeah.
I just love stuff that just I could, because I can see things coming a lot. And if you can, and that's my humble brag, but I can spot a setup and a delivery a lot, and if I see it coming, then and if you throw me off, I'm just like, oh, yes, you are the best. So anybody that could just they take a joke a different way, I would love. And just the greats, just the SNL greats. And and I even with sketch was big, and I didn't do it until later on in LA. I mean, there was no, actually I'm lying. See, this is where the timelines get messed up. My friend did start a sketch group, and we performed at Bucky's Barbecue, and we did sketch shows at Bucky's Barbecue when we first moved out here. Huge success.
Bucky's Barbecue. Where the fuck is Bucky's Barbecue?
There was one in the Valley in Encino where I first moved to. And then it moved to kind of over by on the other side of the street of Universal. There was this Bucky's Barbecue. The guy was really cool to let us perform there.
Was that near the Baked Potato, or was that another area? Remember the jazz club, the Baked Potato, right around there?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh yeah, the Valley had nothing to do though. So it was. I didn't realize I had to drive far to go to places, which, man, I wish we had Ubers back then. Oh brother.
This is why I don't go into Uber, or why I don't use Ubers that much, because I'm just so conditioned to drive myself everywhere. From having lived in LA for those 20 years that I lived there, for sure. So you didn't go to New York though, did you? You went to LA instead. And where did you go to? You went to the University of Nebraska, right? Is that where you went?
No, I actually went to a college called Doane College, Doane, and it's a private college in Crete, Nebraska. So I went from a town of 25,000 to a college town that had about 3,000 population. Wow. That went down to 2,500, I think, when school wasn't in session. It was a very tiny town with a bar in walking distance. So that was a good safety measure. And it was the only wet campus in Nebraska, which meant you could drink. And if you got caught with alcohol, the cops didn't have jurisdiction. It was like you'd get like a $5 write up or something, right. So that wasn't I don't think in hindsight that was a good plan. I don't advise going to a wet campus to anyone else, but that's where and then I did theater there. And
how did you know about Doane? How did you hear about Doane?
I went there because of a girl.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Were you together, or were you chasing her and you were hoping to catch her eye at Doane?
Hoping to catch her eye. Ended up dating her for most of college, which in hindsight, not a good idea.
Oh, yeah. One of those.
You go back and you go, oh, man. There were a lot of girls that were knocking on my door, and I had to. And I'm not a cheater. I'm like, oh brother, the horror. But we had a little brief breakup where I got to do a little oath sewing. But other than that, it was. You shouldn't date while you're in your entire 4-year college career. Stay with the same person. That's some more free advice for everyone.
Good life advice. Good life advice. Well, let's take a moment here. We got over 170 of you all watching us live. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button as well. Give us a thumbs up. Give us some love over here. We only have 97 likes, so let's get up to 150 likes as soon as we can. And we got Brett Sheridan here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not seeing a lot of Streamlabs super chats. What's the deal here? Don't you want to know stuff? I'm sure Brett's got celebrity stories. He's got insane stuff to talk about. Send in some of your donations and suggestions here, and questions and thoughts and comments. The Streamlabs address right above Brett's head. It's also in the description of this video. It's also in the chat. I pinned it to the chat. So please send in some questions and some thoughts. And speaking of which, Carol sent in a question here. Brett, you have great taste in rock bands. Are you into hard rock as well? I'd like to recommend some bands to check out, such as Seven Dust, Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, and Chevelle. Thanks for all the laughs on SEN, and I'm still here for any cat help.
100% into hard bands, and Chevelle I like. Chevelle has a very Toolish sound. So when I can't get my Tool fix, I do like Chevelle. And Disturbed I absolutely love. I believe in, what was it, Seven Dust?
Seven Dust was the other one. Yes.
Yeah, these I've heard of and heard songs, but I can't. But Chevelle and definitely Disturbed, I enjoy. I love, and people say that they love every genre of music. I honestly love every. I have something in every genre, and even country, which, but I'm one of those, I like the real country when it was Hank Williams and George Strait and
Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard, So I do, and I mentioned Tool as far as heavy bands. I've seen them maybe 4 or 5 times. So I love it all.
Disturbed I discovered in a Hot Topic one time. Like, I just was looking at shirts some years ago, and some song came on, and I just was digging it. And I'm not a metalhead in any way, shape, or form, but I do enjoy some of the hard rock, depending on how I can't handle I can't handle that shit. But other stuff, if you've got something to really the kind of you're talking about that I'm interested in, I enjoy it. And Disturbed was actually fucking great. What I was listening to that day, and so shout out to them. And I have heard of Seven Dust as well.
Workout music. No, I'm with you. I don't. There's screamo, which is a new thing, which is screaming, but there was like scream metal. No, I like to. I'm not a lyrics guy necessarily, because I get a lot of them wrong, but I do like to hear the words that they're saying. I do enjoy that. So as far as my metal bands, I like, and I didn't get into metal early on. I guess the classic. I did go to church, and I thought of a lot of that stuff was devil.
Wow,
worship.
really? Were you a hardcore Christian or whatever? Is that what you were?
Presbyterian, so Christian light, but still, there's still some of that, like, I was listening to Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant, and
Wow.
So I kind of had that little phase. I went to it's not White Snake, it's not White Stripes, but it was something. I went to a Christian rock band where you could go backstage with them and be, saved afterwards.
Whitechapel, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, gosh. Oh, what was it? Wow. Oh, it was a good show. I mean,
I remember Stryker. Remember Stryker? That was
it was like Stryker, but not as Striper. Yeah.
Trevor, that's right. They were the Bumblebee colors. I remember.
Yeah.
They were the
White Heart. I think.
Oh, White Heart. Okay.
White Heart. Yes. My parents. My dad was a Deadhead, so I was constantly listening to the Dead. My mom is loves Jim Morrison and 60s music, The Who, and so she, the Woodstock soundtrack. So I mean, I was surrounded by music. I mean, the one bad thing about music in my house is on Saturday morning when I heard it come on, that meant we were cleaning the house. So like the stereo was cranked, and meant, oh shit, time to clean up.
It's that Pavlovian trigger. Ben_Rainer says, hey, 2 of my favorite funny men of SEN. Oh, please, I'm nowhere near Brett Sheridan's level. Brett, what was some of your favorite comedy movies growing up? Were you into Animal House and movies like that? Also, do you have a favorite impersonation that you do? Yeah, Brett, what did you have favorite comedy? Was it pretty much the standard stuff like Animal House and other things, or did you have kind of these quieter, underappreciated comedies that you kind of would turn to that was more your sensibility?
Boy, I mean, definitely Animal House, Blues Brothers, but I don't think I was underground or edgy back then. I kind of liked, you got me on that one as far as old comedy films.
Well, you got Stripes, you got Ghostbusters.
Stripes. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Stripes, huge, and probably shouldn't have been watching it at the time. Probably too young to be watching Stripes. And then there's movies that I didn't realize that, like Revenge of the Nerds. I didn't, you don't know that's another thing. Like I will admit to the fact that I now in hindsight that has questionable scenes in it. But then, not to go on a different tangent, but then how do we deal with this? Do we completely eliminate these elements, or do we completely, I mean, because that wasn't high art to begin with.
Right.
You could probably take out the rapey scene and still just have, well, actually there was also some pretty stereotypical homosexual character, you know, but it was,
you got those things you got to look back on now. It was of the time. Do you know what I'm saying? And and I watched I watched Back to School the other day, and I was like, you know, there was that moment where Rodney goes into the sorority and literally opens the curtain on a young woman who is bathing, who's like 17, well, probably 18 or 19. And of course, he's well into his 60s. But then he opens it. After he closes it, because he's all like shocked, then he opens it again and you fully see her breasts. And I'm like, what? You would never get away with that now. That would just be impossible.
Benny Hill.
Oh,
did you ever that's so, but that was just, you know, in my defense, that was just me. I just wanted to see some boobs. I was very young when Benny Hill was in, you know, it's a Yakety Sax. Is that the song that they play as he ran around?
And kids back then, we had to masturbate on the fly. You could not pause the Benny Hill. You could not pause the Benny Hill. You could not pause the stuff.
Sears catalog lingerie section, Benny Hill. Like, you know,
you kids have it easy nowadays, man. We had to masturbate on the fly, son. Well, then, did you start walking away from your religion later on in life? Did you start walking? Like, did you start as you got more and more exposure to the outside world? Did that kind of lead you to kind of walk away from it, or is it still a part of your life, but you understand where to put it?
No, I mean, I pretty much walked away. I mean, and I think again, I was Presbyterian. Where they're not really, it is Christian light. It was, you know, and I questioned a lot of things. My mother was a religion major, and even she stepped away from the church because she said at the time, you know, it really helped her, you know, with certain things in life. But then, you know, she did kind of analyze things and knew that there were multiple religions and a lot of them come from the same areas. And to me, the biggest problem I had with it is that, you know, why is it that your God is better than this God is better than that God? And that's the thing that, you know, and I don't want to diss anybody. Believe what you want and have whatever faith you want, but I don't think a faith should shit on another faith, I guess, is the plain way to put it, you know. I love Ricky Gervais's things when he says, "Oh, you believe in God? Which of the 3,000 do you believe in?" You know, do you not celebrate Thursday because it was named after Thor? So you know.
That's fair.
Yes.
All right, so you come out of college now. Do you go? Why LA? Why LA over New York? Why did you not pursue, like you were saying, going to try to get onto SNL or what have you? What did you sense?
Well, the first thing I did was I got a job roofing houses just as a summer job, living with the same girl that I dated.
Wow.
And I was making $7 an hour in 1996 to tear off roofs. I didn't even get to do the fun part. I was just taking a potato fork and pulling off the roofs and putting them in tarps and things. I did that for a few months, and then I heard from my college friend Leaf, who had been on the show before, and if you Google me, he does a lot of the sketches I'm in. Leaf Ganfert. He was on Schmoes Know. He killed Uncle Ben in the Amazing Spider-Man. So so yeah, he said, "Hey, we're moving to LA." And that was sorry, I'm getting in my head myself. John, years have gone by. I did this credit marketing job where I would go to JCPenney's and get people to sign up. But these guys said, "We're moving our way to Los Angeles." But it ended up mostly being Virginia and Florida and up and down. I'm like, when are we going to that coast? You know? So then my friend said, "Hey, we're going to move to LA." You know, I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I'm 23 years old. I don't have a girl. You know, I mean, I had since moved away and kind of said, you know, I think we're not going to date anymore. I might be back. I'd come back and we'd see her. It was this weird. We didn't break up, but we did. Yeah. You know. And then when I went to LA, and then she called and had a date, and that freaked me out. Even though I'd had some dates, and I'm going on a tangent here, but basically, yeah. So then that was done.
Right.
And I was in LA. I had moved out in a caravan with my friend from college, Leaf, and his girlfriend at the time. We loaded up the cars, stopped in Nebraska, grabbed my stuff, and drove all the way out to Los Angeles and moved into 5 of us into a 3-bedroom in Encino.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Encino.
Yeah. Right off of White Oak.
Oh, that's deep in the heart of the valley, man.
Yeah. It was hot.
Yeah, it's hot, son. They used to have. I used to go to audition for Books on Tape. Their headquarters were in a house in Encino. You would go. It was hot as fuck, but you'd go there, and you'd walk through the door. They turned the living room into an area with all this bank of phones, and then they built 3 studios in the back and 3 studios upstairs. So it was so weird. But Encino, I hated driving out there because it's in the middle of nowhere.
I hated living there, and there was nothing. There was no nightlife in that area. you had like a Mexican restaurant to get drinks, and they even closed early. But there was a comedy club right down the street from me that was called the LA Cabaret, and that was the second place I did stand up. The first place was called Smokin' Johnny's Barbecue places. Where I get most of my start. It was a basic open mic. I had 25 friends come. So, of course, a guy scouting for his bringer shows goes, "Hey, I need you to headline at the LA Cabaret," which meant I need you to bring all your friends to pay to see you perform because that's all I care about. So,
were you able to make fast friends? Get 25 people to come to you. That's it's tough. Not
you had to
get 25 people to come to your show.
You had to call people, John.
Yeah.
We weren't emailing. I had to call and, hey, I got a show tonight. We want, and then you'd have to guilt them into it. You'd give them the first, like, hey, what are you doing tonight? How you get people to drive you to the airport. You don't tell them the thing that you want first. You don't. You bury the lead. But yeah, I lost 25 friends over it, but not in the sense that like they didn't want to come to stand-up shows because you'd often have to sit through 15, 20 horrible comedians and just to get, because the more friends you had, the longer they made you stay and they'd put you up last. So yeah, stand-up is I don't know what it's like these days necessarily. I'm happy for Mark because I don't think I could get back into that signing on a list and waiting all night and doing things to get a spot.
But I also think Mark's in a better situation now. He's built a better situation. He has a name and people book him and he makes his money. That's it's a different situation.
I'm saying as far as riding on his coattails. Mark's doing great. No, like, hey, Mark, will you put me in your show? That's probably the only stand-up show I'm going to do is something that Mark has allowed me to be in. I'm not going to go to wait in line at the Laugh Factory to get have to maybe get in a show.
All right, we got almost 200 of you all watching us live. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. We're at to 124. Would love to get to 150 as soon as we can, and keep sending in your Streamlabs and super chats. Let's go through a few of these here, Brett, real quick, and we'll circle back to ask some other questions about your life and career here. We didn't answer Ben's other question. Do you have a favorite impersonation that you do? Is there one
that I do?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing that I don't think anybody realizes, I was never known for doing it. No, not at all. No, I always was just a heightened reality of myself. I was known as like high energy guy. My catchphrase was "I hate my life" half the time in my sketches, and I just played. I just was a reactor to things, and didn't. That's why I think Groundlings and SNL were not really in my cards. I found as I was doing improv and sketches that I didn't develop characters. I didn't. I don't know. It was something I didn't. That was a tougher thing for me to become like, oh, I'm going to be this guy that does this and whatever. Right. So yeah, it's just people have just pretty much made up those. They've the Elmo thing just because I mentioned that I did that for my daughter. And then Drunk Brett was just a thing that Christian witnessed a lot when we were 23, 24, so.
What was it like to be, what was that experience like? Because I knew Christian from college.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't really hang out once he got to LA until later on in the. What was it like with Christian Hoff in the early 20s? It must have been an experience.
Oh, it was so fun. I mean, when I met him, we were at a place called Room 5, and I think I smoked at the time. I went out for a cigarette mid thing, and he's just singing some goofy song. He's like, "I'm an ass man, yeah, I'm an ass man, yeah," just doing his Christian thing where he just goes off. I'm like, I want to hang out with this guy. Right. So, we just immediately hit it off. I would, we'd hang out and go to parties together, and it just, he actually, I always forget these things. They all come together. It's like I haven't talked about him for years, but he's the one that got me into Acme. He said, let's go do this improv class, then you move up and you do sketch.
Right.
And then he just left before we got to the sketch part and went off to do stand-up. And then I did the sketch thing and wasn't doing stand-up anymore after that. Right. So we kind of branched off, still hung out a little bit, and then slowly, we grew apart in a way, like, we still knew each other, but like we kind of were in different worlds at that time. Yeah.
Did you always sense that he was like, I don't know, built to create something or built to run something, or did that kind of surprise you as it developed in him during his time in LA?
I knew the one thing about Christian is tell him that he shouldn't do something and it's not going to work. Go ahead, try to tell him that, because he will. And if I had what he had, I'd be so much, further along. And I mean, he is so driven, and he puts everything into what he does. And that's what I'll say about Christian. I had no idea what it, I thought it'd be comedy and stuff like that. I didn't know about this YouTube thing, even though he asked me to watch it numerous times.
Ditto, bro.
I saved an email. I have an email from one of their first reviews, where he's like, watch this. And I call him. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to watch reviews of movies. That sounds stupid. I don't go to movis anymore. I got a kid. Yeah. Why would I want to watch you review something I'm not going to see for a couple of years? I love you, but this show sounds dumb.
No, I had the same thing. I was like, when he would come, like when we'd run into each other, we lived around the same place in West Hollywood for a little bit, and we'd occasionally run into each other, literally 2 streets over. We lived around each other for a numerous year, but I was doing my thing. He was doing his thing. And every once in a while we'd run into each other on the street. We was walking his dog or just hanging out. And he would tell me about this stuff. And I'm like, who's going to watch movie reviews on YouTube? But I'm like, good luck to you, man. I hope it works out. But who knew what it was going to lead to, and that I was going to be a part of it. I had no fucking idea this was going to happen. So it's just crazy how that all kind of works out at the time when you're.
Were you over by the, it's not the 3rd Street. No, off of La Cienega.
Right. Well, a little more. I was over by when he lived by the CBS studios there on Beverly. So I lived on, what was it? Just one of the streets right off of Beverly. And he lived 2 or 3 over, I think, on Genesee or something like that.
Yeah. How did we not cross paths? That's interesting that we didn't cross paths, because what was the bar that was his local watering hole? Oh
right.
I forget. Oh, this is so bad.
Man. I was like, I was dating. I was in another world. I was trying to do other things, and it was until that dating situation fell apart. The Christian and I kind of crossed paths again. It happened to be at the right time. You should never know.
Is it St. Nick's? St. Nick's.
Yes, St. Nick's.
Yes. Okay, absolutely. I had to get that out.
Yeah, that was on Melrose. I think that was on Melrose.
Yeah.
Justin Toner says, hi, John. And hi, Brett. Oh, thanks for being on Outlaw Nation. I miss your Brett to the Future reviews on the Schmoes No Show. I was wondering, are there any up and coming comedians you think will be big names in the future? Thanks. Yeah. Are you watching the current comedians that are out there?
Well, the thing is, if I'm watching a Netflix special, I don't think they're up and coming. I'm pretty sure they're coming. So I'm not in the scene, so I don't know like I used to know all the up and comers. I used to do shows with Zach Galifianakis, and I used to do shows with Eliza and stuff. There was a ton of Marin Dungy, Retta. There was a lot of these comedians that I did shows with, mostly at Room 5.
Right.
Chelsea Handler. I used to have lunch with Chelsea Handler, and I was filming her. My big thing was that my friend got a Digi-8 camera, and instead of bringing friends, I would film the shows, give the host free VHS copies, and then I'd sell them for $20 a pop as my gig. And then I got they always threw me up before the host. That was how nice they were. So I got to build up a nice thick skin real fast.
Oh, I bet you did.
But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I sold tapes to Zach Galifianakis, Chelsea. I filmed a bunch of her stuff right when she was getting into that, like I think it was like Girls Behaving Badly show or whatever, and right when she was in development to do. And then naturally I lost touch with her right around when she blew up and became super famous and had all her friends come on her show. So that was cool.
All right. So there we go. Let's see. Doug Developer says, have you ever met comics you really admired offstage who then let you down because they were very standoffish? I'm the biggest fan of Lucille Ball and was stunned that people found her to be among the meanest people in Hollywood. I haven't heard that about Lucille, but that being said, I wouldn't be surprised as a woman in this business at that time, especially with the way Desi Arnaz was kind of floating in and out of Desilu. She had to have a strong spine to do the things that needed to be done in this town, and maybe she didn't suffer fools. So I'm not necessarily surprised by that. Did you have any bad experiences with any comics that you've met?
I'm just going to say, I'm going to agree with you, John, in a sense. Also, I think of the people that were saying she were difficult were probably some pretty misogynistic men.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure they didn't like she was a little tooty. She had a lip on her, probably.
She thought she knew things.
Yeah, how dare she? We let you vote. You'd be happy. I don't know. I don't think I ever ran anybody that I ran into Bob Saget once. I thought he was hilarious. And he was very nice. I sat down, talked to him for a little bit. So I technically opened for him, even though it was the show after my show, but I said I opened for Bob Saget. I don't think anybody that I've met. Zach Galifianakis was just very nice and shy and just like no ego whatsoever. Very cool guy. I wish I would have hung out with him, I had beers with him, but I didn't he was with really getting pushed hard. He was with like Brillstein Gray at the time, and like they were coming to his shows, and his tapes were for pushing big stuff. But no, I don't think I've ever met anybody that I felt like, oh, how dare you treat me like that?
Do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, do you know
Brett Sheridan?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people probably just don't realize that they get talked to a lot, and they probably just we all have bad days,
Totally.
I've seen people I've known, and I don't want to talk to them. It's like
that's true.
Like, oh God, this parent. Hey.
Yes, we all have the bad days, ladies and gentlemen. We got to create grace for those situations. Maybe the people complaining, and as Douglas is following up with some of the things where she was scolding writers. You know why? Because when you're a woman in this town, especially at that time, any failure could mean people don't want to invest in your stuff anymore, and people don't want to watch your stuff anymore or make your stuff anymore, and that could be a problem. So maybe there's this pressure to be harder on people to make sure the best comes out. And look, some people need a kick in the ass to do their best work. Writers aren't necessarily the least lazy people in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Jerry Lewis, yes, I definitely heard he was not a nice fella.
I'm more inclined to believe the dudes were assholes than the women were because of the situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, John.
Before
quick Lucille Ball story. Do you think this kind of a joke would fly today? I was doing an award show at Acme, and I go today. I want to give a big shout out and a presentation. I'm doing the wording wrong, but to great women in comedy. And then I made this video and it was great women in comedy. And I went, Lucille Ball. And then it went, great women in comedy.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
And it was groans, but the women comedian friends of mine were dying too, but the men were groaning and the women were dying, because they knew my humor. But I don't think I could ever do that, in this, I didn't believe it, but I knew it was a horrible thing to say.
I think you'd get away with it if the women were laughing because they understand the hidden humor in the joke, which is, this is because you're not allowing women comics. I mean, Jerry Lewis, even Rogan, right? Didn't he say no, women aren't funny or whatever?
Yeah.
And so it's just you see that happening. It's like, what the fuck? So
I knew a lot of hilarious women comics coming up in the game, and a lot of them did well. And Carol Burnett. Yeah, the list is a mile long.
Lily Tomlin.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite little bits because it was just like the groans. And the groans and the oohs were like all the men like looking around like, are we okay can we laugh at this?
Are we gonna get smoked? Let's see, we got another Streamlab that's coming through. And keep sending them in, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep sending in Streamlab super chats. Is there a story you want to hear from the life of Brett Sheridan? Let's start setting up some goals here over the next hour before we wrap up the show. Curbside Prophet 13 says, show and love. My son turned 4 months, and as a dad who didn't grow up with one, I'm always looking for advice on raising a son. Rocha, I know you don't have kids, but you seem to have a good balance of strength while still being open with your feelings. Brett is a number one dad. Yeah, Brett. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Curbside Prophet. But Brett, what advice do you have for a gentleman who has a 4-month-old son at this time?
I'm sorry that you're not sleeping. It will get better. A couple things. Don't compare yourself to other parents that are in the same or past the situation, because every child is different. If your kid doesn't sleep in his bed till he's 3, that happens. Both of my kids pretty much co-bedded with us, and it was like we wanted to sleep. We'd much rather sleep than listen to them cry and come knock on our door. So eventually they will stop sleeping in your bed with you and you'll miss it. Somebody told me that. Somebody also said to me that one of the greatest things I heard is that children will bring you into life if you're feeling, because I felt like, my eyes were open to different things. Not saying you have to have children to do that, but for me personally, it was a very eye-opening experience, and I was really like, oh wow, this is I have a purpose. I have a like I have a child. But yeah, just don't. You're gonna screw up all the time. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're always gonna screw up. Talk to them like you would. Don't talk down to them. They're a lot smarter than you think. Yep. And don't try to explain things that you don't know when there's Google. I've been halfway through explaining something. I'm like, I don't know. Why did I just immediately you want to go like, well, yeah, because blah, 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 on the Earth's crust and blah, blah, blah. And then you go, I don't know how to. Yeah, magma.
Magma, son. Magma. It's crazy. That's for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, so people asked, here we go. Scott Welsh says, Brett, I cannot thank you enough. You consistently have me laughing my butt off at work with some ridiculous Anaconda Brett / Elmo impression or sniper jokes, sometimes to the point of tears. Do you have any favorite comedians, Canadian comedians? Hi, Rocha. Oh, well, hi. How's it going, Scott? Yeah. Do you have any favorite Canadian comedians?
I guess I'm not good at knowing if they're Canadian or not. Okay. Who are some?
I mean, Jim Carrey is Canadian.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd is Canadian, I think.
Definitely.
Some would argue, well, Shatner is a comedian.
I met Dan Aykroyd with my mom on Bourbon Street. That was pretty cool. And he was really cool. Took a picture with us, and that was a big moment for, like watching him with her, when I was a child. Right. And that was what I was worried about. I was like, oh, please don't be a dick, Dan Aykroyd. I can't handle this if you're going to be a dick to me.
Please God.
Yeah, I don't really know where a lot of comedians are from. I have my list of comedians if we want to get that at some point. But go ahead and get to questions. I know there's 100 of them coming.
Well, we're gonna set goals. Brett and I. Let's talk about real quick. Let's get to 200, and Brett will talk about his top 10 favorite comedians. Let's get to 300, and we'll get the top 10 favorite rappers. And if by some miracle we get to 400, I think we should get as a Zaflertinflouse appearance for sure. So, let's start sending in some contributions, some donations here as we go along, ladies and gentlemen. And we're at the 6:30 mark. We started at 5:30, so let's get these in under the hour, and let's see what we can do tonight to get Brett to do some great comedy for us. Yeah, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, John Candy, Canadian, Seth Rogen, Canadian, Phil Hartman, Canadian, Eugene Levy, Leslie Nielsen, Canadian. Wow. Go ahead. Yeah.
All of those. Yes. John Candy had that element, and I think that also. Oh, look at that sweat mark. I'm putting on my itty bitty book lights to help my lighting now. John Candy had that just sweetness to. I mean, the planes, trains, and automobiles. I mean, that element of comedic, but also just heartbreaking, and a heartbreaking life. That was, I was very crushed when that happened. Speaking of Encino, I lived like 5 blocks away from Phil Hartman.
Right. When all that, oh my God.
We heard the helicopters, and that was a huge sad day in terms of comedy for me. Cause to talk about just a master of impressions and just, that was a tough one. I liked it. And the other ones, Leslie Nielsen, you said, I love Schitt's Creek, and I love that whole SCTV crowd. That's what I'd watch. When you didn't get SNL, it was like on a public access, SCTV, which is Canadian, right?
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah. So I probably should have put 2 and 2 together that all of those people were Canadian. So
Well, John Candy was there, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Joe Flaherty, Andrea, whatever she was in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the one that had the mole on her neck. That was her. She was part of them as well. So that SCTV, it wasn't like SNL where they changed like they were like God, what was the one with
Mr.
Thomas
Show?
Lennon? Yeah, they're like the State or Mr. Show. They're just like, that was the crew. The State was the shit, dude. That was damn, that was a fucking great show when it was on. So many good people in that. Yeah, Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas did the show there on SCTV as well. Did became the Strange Brew. They did
Strange Brew. Another great movie.
Absolutely.
Hoser.
All right, people, start sending in your donations here. Let's get to 200 so Brett can talk about his top 10 favorite comedians, but then $300 we'll talk his top 10 favorite rappers. He's a big rapper guy, so we want to talk about it. Bring it out. What you got there? What's that? As a little teaser.
I just bought this for myself because it went on sale. This is Run the Jewels. They're my new favorite, and it's got there's the discs are so, one of them is like really hot pink, but then sometimes the sleeves of these things you can kind of see. The gold ones are cooler, but it's 4 discs, and 2 of them are just instrumental, but discs. I meant, see that? Look at that.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, I've been trying to collect newer vinyl. I used to collect tons of vinyl at thrift stores when I first moved out here.
Yeah.
And I will show you most of the stuff I collected was stuff like this. Just for the picture. I mean, look at Clyde McCoy. The golden era of the Sugar Blues. Don't you just want to party with Clyde?
Oh my God, that's fantastic. That is awesome. Holy shit. What else have you got behind you, man? What other great albums have you got? This is fantastic.
We're all familiar with the soundtrack to Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band, the film.
Yes.
With Pete Frampton, the Bee Gees.
And the Bee Gees. Obviously, by the way, if you've ever seen, that is a fucking downer of a film.
I haven't seen it. You've
never seen it?
I have to check it out. I forgot I had this.
Shit.
And my wife was actually she does trivia with her like planning team at work. And one of the questions was a 70s film, Sgt. Pepper's, who was the band. And she said, the Bee Gees. My husband has the album. I can't think. There's another band too. And the guy said no, but she can't remember what he said. I think he said Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they're not even top building. They're on there, but
Aerosmith's in the movie.
Yeah.
They do their version of Here Come Old Flat Top, he go.
Yeah.
Here
comes old Flat Top, he grooving.
That
Toe
is a
Jam
movie
football.
you have to watch high. You have to watch high that movie because it gets depressing at the end. Fuck, man. It is. And Steve Martin plays Maxwell Silverhammer. He's the guy who does Maxwell Silverhammer.
Yeah. I'll have to check this out. I mean, it's
dude.
Yeah.
If we were younger and we could get high, I would put this fucking on for us to watch high. I'm telling you, it would be and turn the camera on for fuck's sake. That would be incredible. All right, Alan Smithy says, "Hi, Rocha and Brett. Brett, love your work. You're a hilarious man. Your Elmo wisdom and drunk bread advice has helped me through these tough times. What do you turn to cheer you up and bring laughter during the long lockdown? Thanks to you too, Roland." Oh yeah, I'm not doing Roland. But yeah, go ahead. What do you turn to, man?
I turn to the show, to be honest. Like that's
okay.
I get to entertain, and I turn to the comments I hear. I mean, that's medicine right there for me. Is like from the beginning of doing this with Christian, it was tough. I got a lot of hate for certain things. But then I started to get this thing when I was open about depression and anxiety that people said that I was helping them, and that helps me. And I'm like, okay, now I'll take that, and then I'm going to move on to my day and go like, I helped somebody today, and use that to not keep me down. And I had a really rough patch, and there's a rough story. I don't know. I haven't shared it yet because it's friends that had something very, very, very tragic happen to their family. And I don't know. It's kind of, I don't want to share it, but it was something that really, it was bad for them, and it put me in a really, really rough place. And, we're still really good friends now. But, it's not anything that we had with each other, but just a tragedy that kind of put me in a deep hole there for a while, right before we actually kind of started SCN. So
wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I could sense. Yeah, there seemed to be a little more of little more weight to things as I was coming over to do SCN with you guys. It was still kind of lingering around with some of the comments when people would say how much you had helped them. So it's a weird thing about this world, right? I mean, I was watching something last night, and they were saying how, you get these letters and they say how much you help them during these times and depression. Oh yeah. It's crazy. It was in the QAnon documentary that you made me watch, right? People were sending them letters saying like, oh, if it wasn't for this, you kind of got me out of my depression. And I was like, what? Oh, craziness. You just never know what it is and what service you're providing to help people climb out of their shit, and so you just appreciate that for crazy. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see if we've got any more that have come in. Ladies and gentlemen, keep sending in your Streamlabs Super Chats. Let's get to that 200 mark so Brett can talk about his top 10 favorite comedians. Let's get to 300 so we can jump onto the rappers conversation. Krishan, are you ready to come in? Have you put the link in the Discord for people? If people want to come in live, let's start bringing them in live. The top 10, if you're a part of the Outlaw Nation Patreon, if you're $10 and above, we bring people in live to ask their questions. After that, we'll bring in people for sure. So, let's see here. Let's see where we're at. Let's do it. Let's drop this here and bring in Smithy. What's up, Smithy? How are you, dude?
Hey!
Unmute yourself. Oh, that's on purpose. Oh, okay. That's I love it. What do you got for us, Smithy? Are you going to stay unmuted muted the whole time? Is that what holy shit. Great radio.
Oh,
I love it. Oh no.
Oh, I hate those buds. Mine went out. No.
I don't think it's working, Pally. I can't hear you.
Oh.
Select the mic. And also 300. Let's do it, folks. Come on.
How about now?
There we go. Boom.
Oh my God, I just unplugged it and plugged it back in again.
That's all you need to do.
That's after work. So what I was saying earlier was,
Thank you.
anyway,
Going good.
I'm glad to finally meet you. I've been watching you on SEN Live for a long time now. Well, a long time. I mean, I've been watching every day, probably since like a few days after Zaflertinflouse was invented. So I kind of missed that. But every morning I'm working from home. So thank God I kept my work situation going. But it's super hard to get anything done, Brett. I mean, you're too distracting, man. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm keeping people from their jobs.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm glad, and you're glad you got to keep yours. It's nice that a lot of people got to transition into like the home thing. I know my wife is not quite liking it as much anymore. I think she wants an office, but she's stuck in the living room. So.
Yeah. I've never told this to Rocha, but all day, because I work at a film archive, I sit and do cataloging, but I was assigned the TV collection. Ooh. So I don't learn nothing for the Schmodown, darn it. Anyway.
Oh, man.
There's no studying going on for me. It sucks. But
God. If there was TV, that'd be impossible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Episodes. They're like, what's the release date of this episode? And you're like, I don't know. Lucille Ball was a jerk. I don't watch
Yeah. Come on.
But anyway. Well, Brett, I want to, since we have to have a precise question formulated.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering, as you learn as a comedian, isn't it still the fact that you just got to try stuff out and it might bomb?
Yeah.
Or is there some sort of thing you're learning where you're like, oh, no cat jokes or something like that? Cat jokes don't work. What's the deal with that?
I do. There were classes. There was I can't remember the name, but Ellis, if he was still here, could tell me. But there was a class that somebody taught of comedy, and I bought the book just to use it as a bit on stage, and I never took the class because I'm like, how do you take a class on comedy? But there are things that I think that are my main advice that I'm giving my son recently is read the room. Because we came in and there was this art. It was the gentleman that showed his war scars. The Asian gentleman, I can't think of the representative. And I was like, can you put, this is so amazing. This guy, and I'm talking about like how bold this was. And he comes and he goes, oh yeah, totally cringe or something. He didn't even look at the television. He didn't look at it. And I go, dude, we're talking about something serious. And he's like, he apologized. And I kind of blew up at him, but I'm like, you got to see if you don't just walk into a group of people and drop a joke, you kind of got to make sure they're not, talking about, which this made me laugh horribly because my friend knew me long enough, but I called him, I go, yeah, I got to fly back to Nebraska. My grandpa died. And he goes, oh, really? How is old Buck? And because he knew me, that flew. And I died, and he brought me. I laughed, but if it was anybody else, I don't think that joke would have worked. So that's my number one advice: is read the room.
I'm taking more just that you shouldn't make fun of deceased relatives. That's the main advice that I'm giving. So I understand now, and I got to tell you, practice right now.
Well, I'll tell you another one that killed me actually also. But when you do your mom jokes, make sure somebody's mom hadn't passed away. My wife,
mom.
My wife did that to our friend who has an amazing sense of humor. She came in and we always, oh, your mom does this, your mom does this, and she goes, yeah, your mom's weak. He goes, yeah, you're right. She did lose her battle with cancer recently. And then he's like, I'm just gonna, and again, this is a group of people who could laugh together, and that was for him. He was dying laughing because he knew how much we all went like, oh my God. But if you didn't know that person, that wouldn't have flown. So
that's classic. So when was on SEN Live though? It's a whole different thing because you don't really have a direct audience of people you're making. It's more your team. So everyone else on screen is your audience. And does that feel a lot different, or are you getting about the same? Rocha will laugh at anything. The guy's like, oh my God, he didn't laugh. Never mind.
Yeah. I think John will agree. It's tough not being in a physical space, because you are looking at faces and you are looking and there's how many times we've done that. Oh, no, you go. Yeah, or you let a good joke fly and it just gets completely washed over because you didn't do it loud enough. So the timing, if you want to learn about timing, try to do comedy with 6 people on a Zoom call.
Oh yeah.
That's a big learning point.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
I'm learning live streaming chat comedy. That's how you do it. Where you have to write it.
Good.
You got to get it in there fast. I got to make sure it's spelled right, because if you wait too long, it's not going to be funny anymore. People get pissed off or whatever.
I will say that when we have a lot of hilarious fans, and it's a little disheartening because I'm like, no, these guys are going to come out and just start doing stand up, but I'm not going to have it a gig anymore.
It's easy on stereo where you don't have to be on screen and you don't have to be seen. And by the time your comment's read, you can be off doing something else. You don't have to worry about it, you know. But
That's
anyway.
for sure.
I love you on SEN too. Rob.
Hey,
don't.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Wow, that's very
You're
good.
almost as funny as Brett. You're almost.
Nope, not even close.
You're close.
No,
Hey, have you
it's
both
not true.
done Groundlings courses? Did you take any
I
of the
did
classes?
one semester of
Did
whatever
you?
they call it here, UCB. I did one semester of UCB sketch improv.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my experience with that. Brett, I wonder if you'll like this or not. I was terrible the whole time. Terrible in class because I didn't understand that you have to like figure out the tenets of this thing. And by the end of the class, you could tell that when I was paired up with someone, they were like, shit. You know, and we'd go up there and I just couldn't. But then we did our show and I fucking knocked them dead on, because that's where I thrive, is in front of a live audience. I'm never more aware and alive than I am in front of an audience. And that threw off some of the other people in the class, you know? And so where I was like not doing so well, I need a audience to do my best. Many people argued last year that because Schmoedown was virtual, I didn't quite get a chance to kind of get some of these victories I might have gotten in a live audience, because I just kind of just connect with that better, in my opinion. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. Did you try doing the UCB stuff? What was your feeling like on this?
Well, Acme was, you know, like I should have done. Now I had a great experience at Acme.
Yeah.
But you know, I think I was scared of Groundlings because it was very difficult to move along. Mm-hmm. But in hindsight, I would have taken that when I was, 24. Mm-hmm. Right. Somebody at 30 was like, "You need to get out of Acme and go do Groundlings." I'm like, I just got married. I'm getting out of this whole thing, I think, for a little bit. So I wish I would have done that, because I think that path would have maybe taken me further than they did. They weren't scooping people out of Acme to be on SNL. But like, UCB and Groundlings, there wasn't a line of people around the block for our shows. Mm-hmm. The Groundlings was, and I think it was a fear thing. I was afraid I wouldn't be, moved up in those classes, and I took the easy route. And then I do regret it, and I don't. I met a lot of great people. I had a lot of fun, and I probably got to perform a lot more than I would have at Groundlings. Right. But I always look back and like,
I did a few Groundlings classes. Yeah. And I only did like 3, because by the third one, it was so serious. The teacher was so upset at anything that went wrong. And I was really doing this not for a profession, but I just wanted to have some fun and meet people. Yeah. And it's real dead serious there, because they're all trying to get on Saturday Night Live. They all think they're the next Will Ferrell. So by the time the teacher was like, "Guys, you just don't get it." And I'm like, okay. I mean, that was a slight exaggeration, only slight, but at that point you're like, and it wasn't at me either. I was doing okay, just to tell you guys, come on. It wasn't me.
Yeah, it's the other guy. Yeah.
There was one time where I was doing like this and I'm like, "How do you like my comb?" And they're like, "It's really a shovel." And the teacher was like, "No, he said it was a comb."
No. Negating, no negating.
No negating.
If they say you say it's a comb, it's a comb.
Right.
Well, anyway. Yeah. He's saying, no surprise he didn't find well-adjusted people in comedy. Not a lot of well-adjusted people do comedy, that's for sure.
Somehow I'm learning this the hard way. But, I'm glad to be here with you guys. You guys seem to be very well-adjusted.
Yes.
More or less.
after the hell we've been through in our lives. Sure. Now, finally, yeah.
It's rough out there.
Definitely.
Well, anyway,
All right.
looking forward to seeing Zaflertinflouse come into the FCL. That'll be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad you've already seen the promo, so it's looking good.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Are you fine with the new look? Because basically, I haven't explained it to anybody yet, but that's not a sustainable haircut, y'all.
No. But Brett, you've missed out on the ultimate point, which is when you cut the tuft off, you're supposed to sell it on eBay, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, right.
You could get like 20 grand for that hair tuft, I guarantee you. Just put it in a little plastic bag, tag it Zaflertinflouse, and you're all good.
Well, I'm trying. I don't know, because I'm trying to get to 400 here tonight, so Zaflertinflouse can make an appearance, but people aren't responding with enough donations here to get us to that spot. So we shall see. We shall see, Smithy.
You haven't made enough threats, Rocha.
Yeah.
More threatening, more violence.
I have bootleg Led Zeppelin albums I want to show.
All right.
Come on, people.
All
right, Smithy, thanks so much.
Donations. But anyway, all right.
Show.
Well, it's
Peace,
good
man.
to meet you, Brett.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Yeah, and good to see you again too, Rocha.
Thank you, brother. Always good to see
All
you,
right.
Smithy. Thanks. All right, there we go. Let's see. We've got one that came in here. Curbside Prophet 13 says, I know Brett's not a fan since he continually attacks him, but clearly Nelly is the greatest of all time.
I made one time, we were talking about the celebrities, and I said celebrities because it was Carol Baskin and Nelly on Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
And again, yes, I love Nelly when Nelly was doing the Band-Aid thing, but I don't think Nelly was topical in 2020, but are relevant. But I do not hate Nelly.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, well, no, that one actually had some fodder to it. I don't know where the Ryan hating Superman thing came from. That was just somebody just wanted to spread some stuff and
what was
stick
that
with
all
it.
about? What was that?
They just kept saying that, man, he just really was shitting all over Superman. It's like, I never said anything.
He's got an issue with Superman. What's that all about? Let's bring our next person in live and keep sending in Streamlabs super chats, people. Do I have to go the threatening your family and your pet route? I don't want to do it. If 3 of you send in $100 each, we crossed it. So come on, people. Send it in. Streamlabs address right above Brett's head and also in the chat. Let's bring on Darren Wright from the UK. What's up, Darren? Oh,
nice.
I took my tuft a bit too far. Sorry.
I love it.
My heart's going strong.
Oh, if I could find the shot.
16 months at home does to you. Cut your own hair.
That's a great one. Did you use like egg whites, or did you just go the regular hairspray?
No, that's just natural. That's just the natural.
Nice.
So what I've been doing is I've been girlifying it. I've been putting hair bubbles in to keep it up in the air. So during the day, there's a quick.
I like the track lighting. Respect.
Yeah. Quickly, just do a demonstration.
Oh, okay.
So I've been walking around at work like that.
Nice. Nice.
Just one big tuft in the air. Keeps the hawk strong. It's good.
I love it. So what's your question, brother?
So my question is, what is your favorite comedian's serious acting role?
Ooh. Oh boy, you're getting me. Well, we mentioned John Candy and Planes Train. Robin Williams, Good Will Hunting was, I think, wonderful. Let me see if we've got any other. Boy,
Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine.
Yes, I always forget that. It's like Christian always says that's his favorite. I'm like, that's my favorite too.
I don't know if you can class it as serious, but I do love Robin Williams and Bicentennial Man. I've got a soft spot for that film.
I don't remember that, and I remember seeing World According to Garp, but was that serious? Was that that was heavy stuff?
That's heavy. I mean, there was some issues.
Surprisingly, a lot of serious films.
Yeah.
Angleman in Brooklyn comes to mind.
And if you talk about just, I mean, again, there's a lot of hurt in comedy, and the saying is that comedy is hard, serious acting is easy. So
yeah, I'm guessing that's where you find all your best jokes, is from making light of bad situations.
Maybe I just made up that saying. I don't know.
Let's see Anthony Hopkins do some comedy, for God's
sake.
Yeah. Come on, Tony. Let's see what you got. Yeah, I agree.
It's the British sense of humor. I'm sure he's got it somewhere.
It's dry, really dry. I appreciate it.
Speaking of British, I forgot to bring up Monty Python as influences.
Oh,
every last bit of that. I loved it, and then of course he's the only American in the group, Terry Gilliam. I love Terry Gilliam films, but I definitely Python, and just started watching them with my wife a couple of years ago because I don't think she's seen Life of Brian. And she's she's like, how did I miss this? So
I didn't know anything about Monty Python until my mid-teens. I found out about it through Fawlty Towers.
Oh, right.
And then I went back through John Cleese to find out about Monty Python. So,
I still need to see that. I still need to see Fawlty Towers. Yeah.
Oh wow, you're in for a treat there.
Yeah, and I saw the OG Office before I saw the American version, and absolutely loved it. Did have to go back a few times and put the subtitles on and look up certain references. I get that referencing. What's a bell end?
What is a shit muppet? What is a shit muppet? Looking at it now. No, the Brits have the best fucking
swear words,
they're best swear words, because like a bell end, you just wouldn't even think to use that, but it's so brilliant when you hear it.
And then there's different ones. You can turn a bell end. If you're more annoying than a bell end, you become a knobhead.
Knobhead, right.
It's just there's endless possibilities.
And your fanny is not your butt. I realized that fannies are different.
That's one of my favorite lines. I think it's a teen comedy from the 2000s with Kirsten Dunst, and the girl gets hit in the fanny, and I think it's Martin Short goes, "Just keep icing your front bum." And I'm like, wow, I can't believe you just said that.
And then there's that horrible line in Sound of Music where the nun says, what is it you can't face? What is it you can't face?
You can't face?
Maria, what is it you can't face? Look that one up.
Oh, wow.
Every time we watch a British sitcom, it's like what's her face? The one who was who's the redhead that was on The Office, the American version for a little bit, and she was also one of the companions for Doctor Who. Catherine Tate, is it Catherine Tate?
Oh, there's a British Catherine Tate.
Yeah. She has a show, and I see the insults on that show, and I'm like,
she does the foul mouth grandma.
Brilliant. Yeah. I remember they were hungry at a party, and she's like, "I want a taco. I love tacos." And then she got it. She didn't know how to eat it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So was that your question, Darren?
Yes, it was. Yeah. The only other thing I want to say is, obviously, I speak to you a lot, John. Yeah. Brett is one of the few people who have been on the Outlaw Nation that I haven't been able to thank for getting me through the last 16 or so months. Oh. The amount of times I have had to change a T-shirt because I've cried all over it from laughing, or just I've had a horrible day, and by the end of SCN or by the end of a promo or anything, I have been so much cheerier. And he won't take the compliment. I know he won't, because we know him well enough by now. On behalf of me from the UK, thank you so much for always being able to pick up my spirits.
Wow, thank you
so much, Darren. That's very kind of you to say that. You're the best. All right, let me see here. Thanks, dude. Darren, appreciate it. And let me bring in Sean. What do you got, Sean? What do you got here?
To ask a question or just to make sure everybody's doing okay?
Both if you want.
Yeah.
Well, first, we're about 8 likes away from 150, so let's get there. And then if you guys can be generous to keep donating so we can hear some more of Brett's stories. Brett's been a great guest so far. We just want to make sure we want to hear some more stories. Yeah. I also put the link in the chat, so if anybody wants to come in live to talk to Brett, as you guys saw, the patrons got first dibs. So now it's open to anybody who wants to come in and ask a question. So when When you click on the link, it will bring you to StreamYards, which will ask you to verify your headphones and your microphone. Please try to use at least headphones, otherwise we get an echo. And then it'll bring you backstage, and then John will be able to see you, and then he can bring you in at any time.
Yeah, very cool. You got a question, Sean?
Yeah, I do. So, because Brett is so funny, I was curious about what is a sitcom that you continuously keep watching over and over again? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Well, not I didn't do it, but I don't mind it, as The Office was on heavy rotation during the pandemic. But gosh, as far as just over and over, yeah, I mean, we didn't really watch things, though. We couldn't watch them over and over when I was watching sitcoms. They came on, and then occasional reruns. But yeah, I'd say The Office is something I've seen a ton of. But yeah, I can't. Yeah, not off the top of my head. I'm sorry to disappoint.
No, no. I mean, because everybody, like, some people don't know what a rerun is, but I like.
Yeah.
Those one that's common, you have to wait until the summertime.
Yeah.
Like, if you missed it, you have to wait till the summertime. So
you do.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, you watch it, and then you're like, oh, okay, let's move on to that. Wasn't much left to do. Come on, John, name some sitcoms that from our era, and I'll back you up.
I mean, Happy Days. I go back more. Mindy.
Yes.
Welcome Back, Kotter. Those are great ones that show up on Nick at Night. But then you've gone to 80s. Of course, I'll still occasionally watch Family Ties. Listen, I know people might think this is controversial and might hate me for this, but occasionally I'll watch a Cosby Show episode. I'm not going to lie. Martin. I love watching Martin episodes. Who else is out there that was back in the old days? Laverne and Shirley. There were some fun episodes.
Yep.
I just watched the Happy Days episode where Fonzie pretended to die and Laverne and Shirley had to come and give their last respects. Holy fuck. I mean, they used to do comedy and really, really well, ladies and gentlemen. But also, if you go to British route, Blackadder is something I go back to all the time. I don't know if you can call it a sitcom, but certainly a series of comedy that was on television. So those kinds of things. And I tell Brett 1,000 times, Breeders. But
that's tonight. I'm going to push that one. That's the one I keep. I wrote it down. I put it in my phone as like a reminder after the show. But yeah, I mean, all of those sitcoms. Yeah, I watched them when they came out, but I don't know if I ever revisit anything because again, I'm not hurting for content. I have a lot of blind spots in my in my 2007 to 2000 now.
Cool. All right.
So we just crossed over 150 likes, so thanks, Outlaw Nation.
Thank you.
One of my answers would be like, I know like some of the episodes are problematic now, but Scrubs I go back and watch a lot.
Oh yeah.
I do watch the Cosby Show too, John. I know like obviously Bill is like nuclear now, but I feel like you got to support the rest of the actors. Like they're on the show too, and it's a shame that like that show got taken off of syndication because now they don't get residuals, and now that's affecting them. Just as so you want to punish Bill, but you're also punishing all the great work that everybody else did. So it's kind of like, it's unfortunate. So
absolutely. You're right, and you got to do that. That's for sure. Let's see here. Who else? Someone brought up Soap. Ron Potts out of nowhere. I break out Soap every few years.
Billy Crystal, Robert Guillaume.
Robert Guillaume. Yeah.
And who was the
Catherine Hellman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so now that was heavy too.
Yeah. You had a gay character.
Yeah. And emotional, and that was great. I would say, just to go off the Cosby thing, like and like, so that's the tough thing now is how we navigate these things, because like you said, there's so many more elements to a show than just this person that did wrong. There were other people on that show that, like you said, don't get residuals anymore. I'm still torn. I didn't watch the Michael Jackson thing. I don't know. I mean, fifth grade talent show. I wore a glove and it did a breakdance. I didn't do any. Listen, I did no makeup, folks. I did no makeup. I just did a glitter glove.
No one's accusing anything. I mean, if you're a kid of the 80s, I don't know how you couldn't have been like wanting to wear a red jacket and do some moonwalking or to some Thriller or some Babs. I don't know how that's not I don't know how that's possible. So
I did lip sync to Billie Jean. I worked out a whole routine, and for 5th grade, I don't think half the room really quite. That's why. Think about that. Think about me doing a dance and lip sync of Billie Jean while people are making fart noises on stage with their arms. So
it doesn't sit really well.
All right, Sean. Anything else? We got 2 people waiting to come in live. You got another
No,
question?
I'm good. No, I'm
all
good.
right. Thanks so much for all the work you're doing behind the scenes, Sean, to make this all happen.
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And Brett, thank you for coming on the show too. By the way,
problem.
I didn't say that earlier.
Thank you.
We're at $256 right now. So someone send in 50 and we'll get to hear the top 10 comedians for Brett, but also the top 10 rappers. We're going to have this conversation to kind of wind down the show here. So please, someone send in $50 on the stream, lads. Let's get over it. Mike Buxo says Brett and Kate are the most funniest people. SNL today has nothing on them. Wow.
I like it.
Strong statement. Listen, I want to come back on Playdate with Brett and Kate and not talk about something depressing. I would like to go next time and have a little more of a lighter conversation as a balance. Nothing wrong with the first episode that I was on, but certainly a little bit of a balance would be nice.
Well, we'll do. Yeah, we play games and stuff. You know, we do. Some Kate will break out. We did this slumber party game she found at home. I don't know if she brought it back with her, but it's like you put curlers in your hair and you lose a curler every time. But I just rolled up tape because I didn't have any curlers in the house. But we'll think of something fun for you.
I would love. And
someone just put I saw Arrested Development. Yes. I was very disappointed. That was one of those ones where it took too long for the new one to come out, I think, and it just didn't hit as well.
I agree with you. Cool.
And,
go ahead. Go ahead, man. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, as far as Kate actually was on the right direction to the path I wanted to take, actually, to tell you the truth, because it wasn't starting out in LA. It was going to Evanston, to Northwestern, auditioning for Second City comedy in the city, and then getting discovered there was my actual path that I wanted to take, and never got close to that. But
okay. Sorry, man. Let's see here. Cooley High says, just show my support to John and Brett, my homies. By the way, I can announce that I defeated 50 Shades of Geek on Stereo Movie Trivia. Hashtag the champ is here. Love you guys. Well, shout out to you, Cooley.
I was going to check that out too. I'll check it out, but you now I know.
Well, you spoiled it, Cooley. You spoiled it. What's wrong with you, Cooley? Keep it under your hat.
I'm like, I got to check out this match.
That other people. Chris Taylor says, I missed one of his super chats. Oh, yes, Brett. Next time you see Zaflertinflouse, tell him his acoustic version of The Last German Bathhouse made me weep. That's awesome. I love it. All right, we've had some donations come through here, so let me read them all, and we'll get to the people who are waiting in live. And remember, we're $50 away from the 300. If one of you wants to send in an extra 100 or get us to an extra 100, we are going to get an appearance from Zaflertinflouse in the show. So please, someone send in the 50, and if someone wants to send in, or a few of you want to send in to get us to the $400 mark, we will get Zaflertinflouse on the Outlaw Nation, which would be awesome. Let's see here. Where do we leave off at? Okay, Jim Sandlin says, Brett, has anyone come up to you in public and said, it's Zaflertinflouse? I know I would.
Well, no, because when Zaflertinflouse was born, we couldn't go in public anymore. Right. So and I had hats on. I did once go to the liquor store and I took a picture in the car to my wife, and I said, guess who forgot to put a hat on is now going to go in and buy beer. It was just full, and it was not even styled. It was just like this tuft. But no, I have not had that, but I remember somebody seeing me at coming out of a Ben and Jerry's with my kids, and it was brand new on the Schmoes. It's like, hey, you're on the Schmoes No Show, and it was a cool moment for me and the kids. Nice. There was also a fan that worked at Five Guys that would always, and my mother was there, and I love you both when you came on and did that review, and my kids and my daughter's like, my daddy's famous. So those were fun moments.
There are fun moments, right? When I had a couple of guys recognize me at the AMC in the early days of the Outlaw Nation, and they bought my popcorn and my Coke for me. I was just like blown away by that. It's like, wow. All right, cool. Butt Biscuit, hello, says, here for the rapper conversation. I love Run the Jewels too, as well as artists like Kendrick, Danny Brown, Freddie Gibbs, as well as greats like Nas and Jay-Z. What rapper do you think has the best beats / backing tracks? In my opinion, no one can touch Kanye there. Ooh, yeah.
Now, controversial.
Okay.
I'm not a Kanye fan.
Oh,
yeah, it's just not my. If you listen to Run the Jewels, you'll know kind of my. I mean, because I am from more of an old school, rap. But I'm not. I don't hate on Kanye. I mean, maybe he's said some kind of dumb things, I think, before, but sure. I don't, and I'm not a Kendrick fan, and I don't. I know why people like their music, and I see that it just doesn't hit with me. I'm more of like just straight up flows, and because I mean I started out, somebody gave me a tape. They had moved from California to Nebraska, and they gave me a tape that had Houdini and all these old school rappers on it. And,
Houdini.
Early Run DMC, and Jam, Grandmaster Flash. Like it was all
cool
like
Modi.
Cool Modi. I loved Cool Modi. UTFO. Eric B and Rakim. I like what we called rap, but I guess is more of a hip hop, and I feel like they're bending different genres that I wouldn't call them straight up hip hop, I guess. I mean, I'm no like expert. I know things develop, but the same way that Hank Williams Jr. to me is country. But if you're like, I checked out her Twitter page and liked it already, that to me is not a that's not a sad, like, come on and put a poke on my Facebook page. Not comparing that to Kanye or Kendrick.
Yeah, you can't. Kanye, I mean, listen, Kanye go off the deep end, yes, but I blame Kim Kardashian for that.
Yes.
Before Kim Kardashian and his mom's death, Kanye was making the greatest rap I've heard since the creation of rap music. The greatest rap songs I'd ever heard since the creation of rap music. Because as a connoisseur, what he was doing, what he was rapping about was in essence what neo-Westerns did by undercutting the cliches of Westerns. And I thought it was brilliant how he was undercutting rap by saying, you know why we talk about all this shit? Because we're insecure as fuck. And we talk about, can't go to the store without a team shirt or whatever, and all of this stuff. And then he talks, but he was still talking about how people perceive Black people, even if they're successful, even if they're accomplished, and then he was moving out into things like All of the Lights, and then his combination with Jay-Z was incredible. So for me, Kanye was such a pioneer in taking what had already been there and absolutely shooting it into the stratosphere, and creating the palette for things like Kendrick Lamar and other rappers to come who've been taking the genre and absolutely messing with it completely.
Yeah, and I guess again, I don't think it's bad in any way. Mm-hmm. It's just I have a style that I like. I love just De La Soul. I love Diggable Planets. Yep. I've got my list over here. Every Tribe Called Quest album. Q-Tip's Amplified was a big one I listen to all the time. So I just like flows and I guess I do fit into just your stereotypical, I guess you would call hip hop, so, old school. And Run the Jewels is hitting that nerve for me. Yeah. Right. It's,
you might have talked me into buying this now.
This one really too. And this one, they're political. Zach De La Rocha is on there on one of their songs. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Yeah. It's there. And it's the thing somebody sent me. They did Eric Andre hosted it. They did a live show where like no camera cuts and stuff like that. I mean, these guys were flowing for 2 hours. I mean, there was no voice modulation. They were just straight up. The voice control of these guys was amazing. And Shout out to Killer Mike. There's House Heisenberg.
Oh, yeah. Killer Mike's incredible. Daryl's coming at me saying, I meant Kanye made American Boy. Yes, he did. You know that Sinatra had a song where he sang to a dog before he made his turn into the second stuff. So we've all got our shits. All the great ones got their shits. You want to go see Elvis at the end and tell me he was a fucking king of rock and roll? Everyone's got their shit. Don't come for Kanye for his fucking American Boy. That's not even a bad track, by the way. So, kiss my ass with that shit. Daryl, respect though, but kiss my ass with that shit.
I don't want RB3 to see that because he said, "Is Pimp a Butterfly?" Is that Kanye or is that Kendrick? There's one the album.
I feel like that's Kendrick. That's Kendrick. Yeah,
that's Kendrick. Okay, because he's like, "No, you have to. This is the best thing ever." And I listened to it, and I was like, "Oh, I can't tell him." So I just never brought it up again. And it wasn't not bad. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it was. Kendrick on SNL though, I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I loved it live. I loved him live. Yeah.
But tell me, you can't watch Kanye do Black Skinhead on SNL and tell me that's not a fucking artist that's doing some crazy shit with rap. That's awesome. Black Skinhead was awesome. I don't know. People are crazy. I guess I don't always agree with people, I guess. All right, let's get to some of these more because we got people waiting to come in. Tushka Stimulations says, here's some of my stimmy so that Brett and Rocha spilled the beans on some good stories. Did the Schmobot read this, by the way? No? Okay. Outlaw bot. Thank you, Tushka. Adrian Michael Soto. Adrian, thank you so much for the very kind donation. He said, thank you for all that you both do in this internet sphere. I changed career paths for myself, currently going back to school, and hopefully one day will be a part of the entertainment or film industry. You guys are both awesome, and thank you. Well, Adrian, thank you. Maybe one day we will see the work you do and be like talking about it on our own shows. So that would be something that would be incredible. So very kind of you to donate. Let's see. Maria donated a little bit. Thank you, Maria, with no message. Doug Developer says, I love Lucy is my favorite sitcom ever. It is so funny while being so clean. No bad language, nothing sexual, just funny lines and deliveries. I think it's even harder to be funny and that clean at the same time. And we won't go back to that again. I don't know. I think we are moving back towards that. Don't you think? As like post Me Too, post Black Lives Matter, post, as I said, the Stop the Anti-Asian Hate, all of that, we seem to be wanting to clean up our acts a little bit more. And a Big Bang Theory is pretty safe, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. And I don't think we have to clean up our acts and be clean. You could. Right. You could. It's about being not racist, folks. It's not like of all the things that I'm going to argue with comedy, I'm going to use curse words. I'm going to say some pretty vulgar things. That one you're never going to stop me. But the racism thing, I think that's a pretty simple one to kind of clean up.
I agree with you too.
And it's that's all I'll say. That's all I have to say about that.
Rondo Calrissian says some of my favorite current TV comes from recent generation SNL cast. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, certainly. Documentary Now, Barry, Ted Lasso. What happened to SNL? Will it ever be funny again? I feel like it is back to being funny again. Like it used to be. Kate McKinnon steals every fucking show she's on. I don't know. What do you think, Brett? Are you liking SNL currently, or is it not really your bag just yet again?
I always find something that I enjoyed it. There's episodes that aren't great, and there's episodes that are I really love. And sketch this is the biggest uphill battle that I think comedy and sketch comedy has right now is how are you topical when there's a million different water cooler conversations, they did a bit about NFTs. My mom doesn't know what an NFT is. She's not going to get that joke. So, right. It's a tough battle these days. And I think that's where they can fall off a lot is because you can't hit as many people, with the topical humor or they just go just way too. I love the ones where it's just John Mulaney, I found out, wrote most the ridiculous things. And he's one of my favorites. And I think that when it's just stupid funny, that's when I love it. And my wife's like, you're laughing a bit too much. I'm like, I can't believe they did this.
I will say this, his stand-up about Donald Trump and the horse in the hospital, I'm telling you, that's the best. fucking bit to encapsulate the last 4 years in the country that I've ever heard. It's just fucking brilliant. I thought it was the perfect. I mean, there have been Trump jokes for the last 4 years.
Oh yeah,
that one is the one that sums it up perfectly. Just
he
brilliant.
is so good. He is so good. Yes. And that's what I'm trying to watch a little bit more. Not up and comers, but there's some great comedy specials out there.
Yeah.
What was Nate? I don't know if I'm saying his
Sudfeld?
Bargatze.
Oh, okay.
I think he's been doing comedy. It's called I'm probably saying his name wrong, but The Greatest Average American. He's been doing comedy throughout the pandemic and like the drive-through things and stuff like that. And he's got some COVID jokes that I'm like, well, nobody's gonna touch that, and some of his things about doing comedy during the pandemic. Who else did we see recently?
I thought Patton Oswalt's most recent one was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, and he's done 2 since his wife passed, right? Yeah. No, he is. That's what anything he does, he's dead on. And that's somebody that if I met was a jerk, I'd be really upset. But I don't see it. He seems like he's, he loves his daughter and he's always, talking about her, and he's he's great. I love it. I love Pat.
Are you into Brooklyn Nine-Nine documentary now? Barry, Ted Lasso, any of those have you watched?
Well, you introduced me to Lasso, and we just blew through that. And I pity anybody that doesn't check this out. And I want to build it up too much, but you know what the tough thing is? You take that character and you do 30 seconds for somebody, and somebody's going to go, nope. Yeah. And you put it on. You tell them. I tried to pitch I gave them the log line for it. This sounds dumb, But the laughter, the perfect combination of laughter and emotion, and I love that. Barry's one I need to check out. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah. Somehow that one's in my blind spot. I don't see that. But documentary now.
Oh my god.
So good. Good.
As I said when someone else brought it up, if you haven't watched the Company version, the Company one, they did the parody of Company recording their original soundtrack from the 1970s, the documentary now version of it, you're missing. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Cooley High says, John and Brett, we need more shows of y'all together. Oh, thank you. Keep being great. Also, prayers to DMX.
Yes. Well, and I didn't. I saw it pop up. I don't even know what he was overdose or something.
That's what they're saying, a drug overdose. And so I think they just took him off the ventilators. If you guys can correct me if I'm wrong or not, I think he's breathing on his own, but there's a lot of concern about where it's going to lead. All right. By the way, we've crossed the $300 mark, so yay! We got to that spot. Thank you all so much. So we'll ask Brett about his top 10 favorite comedians, then we'll talk top 10 favorite rap artists real quick. We've got people waiting as well, so we'll try to cycle through this. If someone sends in that extra 100, then we'll end with a little Zaflertinflouse if Brett can stay on for a few more minutes before it gets
I'm looking if there's any more. I got to get I think I got light here. Okay. I was going to see if there's any more toys I wanted to show. I think I showed this on another. This is, I have I collect. That's a mini disc. They didn't make a lot of mini discs and that's wonderful. Would you classify Rage as kind of rap?
I don't know where I put Rage. I guess I put it, rap Rage. Is it rap rock? Rap rock?
Yeah. And then remember when CDs came like this?
Oh my God, the big packs. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a very controversial album that was banned, I believe. Some of the songs are The Enema, Live at the White House, Sleeping with the Enemy, Bush Killer. So, I can't read some of these. Elmo could, but I can't. But yeah, I think this was a banned album that I found 3 of these at a thrift store, and I gave them to friends. I could probably sell that. We're pretty penny, but I'm already pretty loaded, John. So I'm a hoarder.
There's nothing wrong with that. Corey Cameron says, just showing some love. Brett, thank you for all the daily laughs. I love your comedic sense and timing on SEN, as well as the perspective you bring on the movie industry.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of love. Thank you, Corey, for your donation. And yes, Aisha's right. Black Jeopardy with Chadwick Boseman is one of the funniest skits on SNL recently. So
Definitely.
true. So true. Oh, hell
and,
no. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, and last, the will you take the vaccine sketch?
Yeah. Oh my God. 20 clams? Nah. I'm kidding. We got a surprise guest dropping in to hang out with us tonight. I didn't anticipate this person coming in, but I thought let's make a reach out and see if it could happen. Didn't know if she'd find the time. Boom!
There she is.
Brett, I can't believe you do shows without me. How dare you?
I know. I was like, is this gonna fly? I'm not sure. I think she has dinner at that time.
I do. No, I actually have to go read Harry Potter to Neil because it's bedtime around these parts. But Brett, sorry, this is just for Brett, guys, real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Brett, I don't need the hangers.
You don't need the hangers? Okay.
Yeah. We've got tons. But thank you.
Hey, listen, then I might have to start giving them away as I'll sign them and give them away because the kids are guys. It's a big day in the Sheridan house. They're moving from the child hangers to the adult hangers in their clothing, and I've got 100.
It's so funny because you gave us that Burton the Burton sweatshirt for Neil that has the legs. I needed to put that on an adult hanger anyway. How did you have that on a baby hanger?
Well, we still had adult hangers in the house. That's why I showed you the variants. Because for this is guys, if you want to see some exciting threads, me sending a picture because I wanted Kate to see how small the children hangers were, so I put a normal size hanger for scale next to it, just because I wanted her to be perfectly clear that these weren't big. By saying just child's hangers, you wouldn't have gotten that.
Well, the funny thing, no, of course not. But I actually have so many of those hangers that I'm like, oh, Neil's getting too big.
I know it's rough.
He turned 6 in 2 weeks. What have you guys covered so far?
Go ahead, Brett.
Everything, I think.
Yeah.
This is John. I don't know if you know this. John's a really good podcast host. I don't know if you know, or host in general. I mean, have you gotten to talk to his people yet? Have the parents come on?
Yes. Yeah, we've got 3 people waiting to come on too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get her out of here.
No. I want to stick around. He was just about to talk to us about his top 10 favorite rappers.
Yeah, I think I already just went off on all of them pretty much. Let me see if I missed anybody. That's a tough thing. I think I gave that away before the.
Also, I love that Brett is actually going to really fixate on if those were truly his top 10 or not.
Oh yeah. Well, Kate, I didn't even pick 10. I put 37 down. I just started listing all the ones I liked because I couldn't put them in, and they're in no order.
Oh my God!
I didn't even mention Beastie Boys. Boys.
Yeah. Let's play a game called Rocha. I'm going to ask you a question about Brett.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
What do you think the worst thing that you could do to drive Brett crazy would be? A, tell him to try the wireless, or B, have a window open, just one window open in the background of your setting, so have an uneven background.
Yes.
Or C, try to do laundry in his house.
Oh my God. I feel like the uneven background would set him off the OCD stuff. No? What is the right answer?
D. All of the
above. Yeah. But I'll put laundry at the top. Laundry.
Don't do laundry. He doesn't. Yeah. He's got it. I got it.
Oh,
you don't do my laundry.
You don't let her do your laundry.
Oh no. I have a and it's it's so weird. And I actually broke it the other day because I'm trying to break myself of this. But
right.
Okay, so I only want.
Oh my God.
Let me see if I have it. Do not get washed with the rest of the things.
Oh no.
That touches your butt. You don't want to put something that's on your upper body that would touch something.
I also feel like this is either you or Santino. It might be both of you. There's one side of the towel that's for the butt stuff, and there's another side of the towel. Is that you or no?
Oh no, that must be Santino. Yeah, okay. But now you've made that
side of the butt and the other side's face.
Wow. That is I wash my underwear, my shirts, and my socks together. All the whites go together.
Yeah.
That's what humans do.
The water's hot. It's good.
Socks can go with underwear, by the way, because it is another thing. Yeah, it's just upper. That's upper and lower items. Yeah,
Brett, you're really smart because people get sick all the time from wearing a shirt that was wrong.
Tell me that's how COVID started.
It's the number one leading cause of death in the United States is people dying from poop particles on their shirts. So
how many times does a pair of sharded underpants need to be washed?
Oh,
probably 3.
Nope, you throw them away.
Absolutely. That's what you do. 1,000%. And you don't even throw it in the regular trash. You put it in a bag and throw it out in the trash. You do not let it sit in the kitchen trash. Hell no. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess you two would do fine together. Huh?
Yeah.
I think so. When you're a larger male, you understand these things. Yeah,
do you always want Pizza Hut when you hang out with Rocha? Because of that Empire Strikes Back logo.
I gotta tell you, it does make me hungry, but I worked at Pizza Hut, so my Hut cravings. I'm a Domino's guy now when it comes to shitty pizza. But yeah, I worked for I was a Pizza Hut delivery driver in college.
Wow,
I did not know that about you. You
really
and don't
you started working at CPK.
Yeah.
And pizza.
No, this was great. This is the town I lived in and where I went to school. I'd make maybe 10, 15 on a good night, dollars in tips. I could go to the bar, drink all night, come home with $5 in my pocket. Seriously, no, a beer was like $1. It was $1, or then they had deals like they had penny pitchers where you would get one pitcher for a pitcher of beer for $3 and then a penny for the next one. So yeah.
Rocha, if you're gonna hang out with Brett and it's a night that he decides he is gonna drink, how many Trulies do you need to provide?
What are Trulies?
They're seltzers.
Is that the new White Claw? Is that the new fucking White Claw? I can't keep up anymore. You white people come up with crazy shit every fucking 5 weeks. I can't keep up with it. I just drink bourbon. I just fucking drink bourbon.
Talk about sharting your pants.
I would say 12. 12 would be enough for Brett. Don't you think? Or is it?
So.
Yeah.
Throughout
the night?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to feel so great.
No.
But I could do a 12er.
If we're getting 2 large Pizza Hut pizzas, we're gonna need 12 of those fucking things, and then an edible, and then we're watching the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band movie with Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees. That's absolutely 12 that you're gonna go through. Yes.
You know what's so funny? I tried to mix my gummies and my Alkies the other night, and I'll tell you what, it was the first time I didn't remember stuff. Just alcohol, I'm good. Just gummy, I'm good.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
I watched TV last night.
Yeah.
It was like I went on to catch up with WandaVision. I was like, I saw these 2 episodes. Okay.
Did I eat a peanut butter and vinegar chip sandwich? That's honey, why are there chips all over the counter and peanut butter? I don't know.
The worst is when you've given up.
Here's a great line from a movie about chips. You ready?
Okay.
What is that? What is that? Oh, shit.
Oh, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
E.T.
That's the only movie I know.
Goonies.
Thank you.
Goonies. Oh, I've only seen it once.
She sees the chips on the ground and they think it's the David. She's like, that better be cleaned up by the time I get back downstairs. They put the penis sauce on upside down on the statue.
Oh.
Anyway. It's my mom's most favorite part. Anyway, guys. I'm gonna flex my Goonies now.
Yeah. I have one person who wants to come in and ask you a question. Can we do it? Or do you have to go?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring it in. All right, squad, drip. I don't know what's swag squad. Who is this? Is this Winston? Cheryl, is this you?
We have to come in and infuse some swag to this chat, okay?
Oh, what the hell?
But I'm so glad Kate made an appearance because I have a very important question with 2 experts on this panel, I would think.
Okay.
A conversational topic that keeps coming up has to do with pizza and having some additional arguments for New York City style pizza or Chicago deep dish.
Yeah.
Like I need some new arguments. Either I assume I know where Kate's gonna go.
You don't. I don't.
Oh
think.
no. Okay.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
I think Chicago pizza is an event. I don't think like if somebody's like you want to. I feel like if it's like if it's a Friday night, you're like let's order a pizza.
Yeah.
I 100 times out of 100 times will order a New York pizza. Like it's just is like easier. But like when I was home, I was like, oh, for my birthday, like what do you want? And I'm like deep dish. Because it's an event. I mean, it's like it is not like just like grub. It's just like you actually, it's like a 9-course meal, basically. Yeah. So I would never be like, let's order a deep dish. So I would say that New York pizza is infinitely more deliverable. But it's a lasagna. We can say
exactly. I was trying to get somebody to explain to me how it's not lasagna.
It's lasagna. Yeah. You're not wrong.
It's lasagna. How is it not lasagna?
But it's fucking good lasagna. I'll tell you that right now.
Good lasagna.
You don't get the burnt fucking edges of the pasta that you get with lasagna sometimes, which I fucking hate. It's nice and well done, and it's soft. It's fucking soft.
Oh my god! Do you get the sheet of sausage, John?
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
That's my favorite too. I've had both. And I will use a Brian Regan bit, who said he had a roommate from New York in college that said, "Hey, you want to split a pie?" And he's like, "What? A pie?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah. You want to split a pie?" He's like, "A whole pie?" And he's like, "What do you like? Apple?" But so here's my question. Why is it that New Yorkers call pizza pies? Because a Chicago pizza is a pie.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's definitely in a pie form and with that sheet of things. So
why do you park in the driveway? I know. I hear you. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, really? Good point, Rocha.
Stephen Wright used to say that. I don't understand. Why do I park in a driveway?
George Carlin, fuck you. I'm getting in the plane. Yeah.
All right, Cheryl, you got another question or you good?
Nope, I had to jump in. I mean, Kate, Chicago, I had to get it right from the person from Chicago. Thank you for sticking around.
I feel like your take on this has been correct all along.
Sounds good. It's good to be vindicated. Thank you.
I also feel like I just got kicked out of my Chicago card just got revoked.
No. Thanks, Cheryl.
We'll take you in New York City, so you can come over to New York City.
Can't wait to be there.
All right.
I thought it was going to be a pineapple thing. I thought that was going to be the debate.
That's always been brought up. Ugh, it's driving me nuts how much that's getting brought up.
I worked at CPK that had all kinds of crazy ass pizzas. I can't deny that people would like a pineapple pizza. We had one that was a salad on a pizza. I mean,
I tell you, I'm living my best life where I live right now. There's a fucking Olive Garden 5 minutes away. There's a CPK 5 minutes away.
Where it's at, bro.
I'm loving everything I'm around right now. It's driving my girlfriend crazy, but I love it. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Rocha, when we moved we lived in West Hollywood. We lived by every bougie place. We lived in the shit. We were it was like, do you want to go have a drink? We're gonna spend $42. It was just like, but we were young and had no kids.
Of course.
Great. Then we have Neil, and we're like, y'all got a kids menu?
Yeah.
Got a high cheddar? It was like a burden to have. Like we would go to the Earth Cafe, and I'd be like, you got 2 high chairs here for everybody? So we move out to Burbank, and it's where all the chains are. Name a chain.
Chipotle.
Got it.
Maggiano's is a chain.
Got it.
Yeah.
Olive Garden. Got it.
Yep.
Panda Express. Got it. McDonald's, got it. Burger King. Got it. Wendy's. Got it. I mean, it's like Krispy Kreme. Got it.
The Krispy Kreme is next to the next to the Olive Garden, and it's by the Baskin Robbins. And this is a nice area. So the Baskin Robbins is fucking nice. It's fucking nice. It's not LA Baskin Robbins. It's
marble
fucking nice.
counters.
Yes. Wood floors. What floors in the Baskin Robbins? I love it. I love it. It's the
Dude,
greatest thing
yes.
ever. I'm never leaving. We're never fucking leaving. We're never.
Also,
fucking
none of
leaving.
this has mattered the past year because it's like I don't need a kids menu because we're not
Right.
going out. We don't need the high chair. But that being said, just because James is sized out of a high chair doesn't mean I'm not going to still put him on one when we go back to restaurants. Like, Mr. High Chair. We've got an Olive Garden right here. You're going to sit.
and I'll fight anybody on those spaghetti meatballs. There's fucking good spaghetti meatballs. Olive
Dude,
Garden.
also, like we also have a Maggiano's close. Like Maggiano's, you know that if you buy a pasta, you get to take one home.
Get the ziti. Take the ziti home. The Chicago Baked Street ziti. You take that home.
God.
That fucking shit warms up so well.
Dude, my friend, when he was going through chemo, Brett's gonna say typical Kate. But he was almost done, and we all went out to Maggiano's because he wanted us. He basically was like, everybody order a meal and then order another one of your meals, and then he took them all home.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do that for you any day of the week. That's amazing. Like, are you kidding?
See, I'm Buca de Beppo.
Someone takes Mets to Maggiano's.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Buca the shit. Bucu's the shit too. Buca de Beppo's the shit too. When they opened one at the Grove, I was shocked. I'm like, do you know fat people don't come to the Grove, pal? I don't know what you're gonna do, but it's the tourists who are in the farmers market who find their way to Buca de Beppo. Smart, fucking.
I
smart.
will say that is the other thing I noticed between West Hollywood and Burbank. I remember moving here and be like, oh. California's keeping their fat people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Valley Tips. The Valley Tips.
One of them. So.
Girl, get in line, girl. Get in line. I can see it. All right. We got two more people, but you got to go, Kate, or can you stick? Up to you.
I can stick for a couple more minutes.
Okay,
But I'm not trying to step on Brett's toes here either.
No. We're about to wrap up the show anyway.
I'm slowly fading into darkness here. I'm like,
Maria, what's up? What do you got?
Maria, who is this Maria you speak of? This is the French person who writes Brett on the stereo. He's talking to the Ryan, who's a dumb shit little kid. They talk about the stupid shit that I do not get. I say to them, hey, what are you talking about? And they say, they don't answer me. They diss me. So I'm telling Brett right now that if you want to enjoy my, what should I say, wit, charmingness, perhaps, I don't know. It's a little this and that. Talk to me sometimes on the stereo when I call you sir. And Kate, I live in downstate Illinois, and you talk about Chicago. Peter Uno, like he's something. You don't know what something is. I will tell you right now that I've been there. I've been to DSW. I know what that shoe is like. I've been to the big mall. It's a Woodfield. It's Schaumburg. I go to the fishy place that has the extra little beans on the plate. What's he called? The fishy place. Fuddruckers or something like that.
Fuddruckers. I miss Fuddruckers.
Oh
my God.
Had one in
That's
Burbank. Just put it out there.
Oh, exactly. You just talk about this change like there are something you don't know what a chain is. McDonald's, now that's a chain. They're everywhere. Have you seen them? It makes the French fries so good. All right, I just wanted to tell Brett that when he talks to Maria, the French person on stereo,
that's who it
pay
is.
attention. And tell that Brian he's a little shit.
He is.
Just you look, I'm not ready.
Oh my God.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
I gotta get. Oh my God, Maria trains me for the Schmodown, by the way. So now she's gonna have to do it with a French accent the whole time. Go ahead. I'm at a loss. All right, Katie, you okay?
Go ahead, Kate. Are you frozen?
Did you know? Wait, did she really do the French? She's the French.
Yeah.
person?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that that's what that person would look like?
Somewhat because of the avatar.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. Because everybody, except for Ryan, made the avatar look similar themselves. Who decided to do the mustache? But
Ryan's correct. Rocha, have you had to do the Skype SEN yet?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, we did it.
First
on Monday.
day?
We did it yesterday.
I just downloaded it tonight. I'm so nervous.
How's that working out?
It was like, will not open.
Oh,
will
shit.
not open.
Are you doing it tomorrow?
Yeah, and I'm also hosting, apparently. So.
Do you know why Zaflertinflouse was late to accept the Schmodown award? because he didn't get the Skype note until, where are you? And I'm like, Skype? What? I know my Friendster login. I don't know my Skype login.
Oh, wait. Do we have to have a login?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have a whole
You gotta
thing.
create an account.
You better sign up tonight. Make it quick.
I have an account. I just
You're gonna have to do forgot password.
I got password.
We didn't even get a link for the first 20 minutes of the show on Monday. So we were I didn't even shower because I was freaking out. I was going to be late because I had a busy morning. So I was like, and then I'm sitting there for 20 minutes and I could have been showering. And I was like, all right, man. But,
thank
we figured it out
God
eventually.
you can't smell through Skype.
Oh,
no shit.
Because I'll tell you what, right now, if you could smell through Streamlabs, you would both be like, "Kate, great to have you."
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Let's have
Look
you
at that.
Yes.
Wow. I think that's Michigan.
I can't open the windows back here, and I can't get my wife to turn the AC on at 7:50 at night. So,
Oh my.
yeah,
I've got two
it doesn't
fans.
smell bad, native, but
Native.
it's. I'm a sweater.
She doesn't come in the office when I'm in
stinker.
here.
I'm a stinker. I said s'mores today, and I got hell, Kate.
What?
I added a ch to s'mores.
But
And-
but who played the Queen in the movie The Queen? Was it Helen Mirren? Because that's my favorite thing you said.
Was that better than when I said Timothy Chalamet? Listen.
Timothy
Oh.
Chalamet.
That's the best.
Chalamet the God.
Oh my
And it's
God.
not Sally Fields. Come on.
Mrs. Sally Fields cookies. I love it.
Oh,
This is
s'mores.
we got one more waiting to come in, and then we've done. Aaron, what's up, bud?
Hey everyone,
What's
Mama
up?
Lion. Yeah, he is fantastic. He's such a beautiful boy. If I can go get him, I would. I'm just in the garage and he's sleeping. He is. I go to work 8 hours later. This little guy grows every day, and
Oh,
my God! Real quick,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Real quick, like me and the girlfriend are just amazing right now, and it's just because we made that thing, and wanted to tell you that, Mama Lion. Anyways, I had a question. Fuck that. I'm not gonna talk any of that. So I want to talk about you, Kate. You made me fall in love with SEN, with something else, and you made me fall in love with you as a manager twice.
Oh wow.
Now I've been smoking a little, so I forget your matches. But damn it, I remember every one of them looked amazing because of you. Every one of them were like,
Wow.
fuck that scoreboard. Here we go. And you can just see that because of your managing. And you are so, because last year I was like, no, she just picked Tom. This is going to be amazing. Yeah, sadly they lost a couple of times, but the way they played, it was like, man, this is Roxy Odd Couple again. That's what that felt like. And I'm going, these guys are going to go, but the wheel giveth, the wheel taketh the fuck away.
I know.
So, and then this year, you are doing so much better, kicking Grace out. She don't watch this, so I can say that the hell with her.
That's
So,
right.
and then you became
It's all
so
real,
much
too.
better.
I really did that. So
I'm sorry to
Sorry for
interject.
spoiling that.
Sorry to
Monday.
interject, but Aaron, the way you just talked is why I quit smoking weed. No, seriously, because I got to LA and everybody was just all like this is like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, so this is the deal. This is the deal. We're gonna call the pizza guy and we're gonna make him come in and go, it's Bigfoot, and then we'll pay him extra 20 and we'll write in the box like you do a joke or something. Okay, now here's the scene. We're doing a scene. Why are we doing scenes, Brett? Well, no, it's fun. Yeah, that's.
But
And
Brett,
then-
imagine that energy's coming at you and telling you how much they like you. Just let it keep going.
Yeah,
Lord.
that's why the wife won't do it with me. You just kind of just talk too much. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Where people mistake us for cokeheads, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, the stuff in Nebraska was like, you get to LA and the crystals and the what have you. And
Right.
brother.
They put
Yikes.
names on it and shit.
Yeah.
Kentucky
Well,
Blue
Aaron,
Northern
thank you
Lights.
very much. I thank you very much for saying that. I'm actually really trying so much harder this season. And, right?
Oh
Please
no.
stop trying to sabotage what I'm saying.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot you were on the main guest on this show.
Thank you for coming to my show.
All right, Aaron,
You're very much welcome. Absolutely, guys. Thank you very much.
Wait, how old's the baby now?
Oh yeah,
4.5 months, ma'am.
Oh,
that's incredible. It's
We just spent it for the first time today. Oh, it was amazing. Anyways, okay.
When I went on, he's an outlaw. He's an
Thank you
outlaw
very much.
patron.
Oh,
and when I beat Lightning Liz, I went on to the thing that they were on, and he was holding his baby, and he goes, "Yeah!" And the baby goes, "Wah!" and just starts crying like this. And so you had to hand him off. He was so excited. So it was brilliant.
I
brilliant.
love when people are happy about having their babies.
Yes.
Oh.
Agreed.
Because that's not always the case, you know.
Yeah, agreed. Oh yeah, good point. All right, we'll wrap it up. Kate, I've got like 3 things to read. You can stick around or leave. What's your feeling?
I have to go. I have to dive into book 6 with Neil right now. But I think
that's wow.
Also,
do it.
He locked the bathroom, so we had to break in from the outside today. So that was fun.
Oh,
Aaron,
nice.
buckle up. It's gonna be fun when they turn. Brett, I don't need the hangers. Goodbye.
Was he trying to get hiding from you? Like, was it like he thought he was in trouble?
I don't know how it happened, but he locked the door and then closed it behind him. So we were locked out. Wow. So we had to get in from the outside.
Oof, wow. All right,
Kate. Always leaving us on. Leave him wanting more, Kate. Leave him wanting more.
I love you more.
Love you.
There was Kate Mulligan stopping in real quick. All right, let's go through these real quick. Brent, we'll get you out of here. I'm sure you're tired as hell. Thank you so
it's
much.
all good.
Sammy Mendoza says, I try to watch everything Brett does. Being a parent myself, I love Brett and Kate so much. They always make me laugh. So happy I got to see Brett in this glorious lighting. Hi, Brett. There you go.
Hello.
Last Cinematic Sailor says, says, Brett, you are a comic god. Ever since you first appeared in Schmoes Know in 2016, I've loved every minute of it. Wish you were on when I started watching in 2012. Hope to see you in the Gucci-verse once more. That hashtag that loser Bateman, hashtag Boo Collins Boo, hashtag True Champs Go Live, hashtag Outlaw. There you go. You are a comedy god, Brett. I agree with that.
Thank you. Jeez.
Travis Lloyd says, I came into laughter. Beautiful. Brett, my jokes fell flat on SEN today. I love your walk-in. Please be my adopted uncles.
My wife does the most wretched walk-in you'll ever see. That it's hilarious, and that I make her do it. You know, it's so. It's just the watch and the grandpa. You know, I can't even do it. Mine's bad, but I can't even do it as bad as she does it. But I love her to death.
Is it Roxy Yoda level bad, or is it just like kind of like
yeah it's pretty rough.
Yoda is the greatest thing. Rondo Calrissian in our final donation says, is Brett in a found footage film? There's a red glow underneath the door. Look out, Brett. All right, we didn't get to 400, so we won't get a Zaflertinflouse, but did we get you the top? We talked the top 10 rappers, right? And your top comedy. Anything else to add? The top 10 comedians? Anything else to add on there?
I would say, comedians wise, Bill Hicks. I owned every single album of his. But I was in a very angry place. Steve Martin, you can't go wrong with Steve Martin. And then just I will say recent specials was that Nate Bargatze, and I think we talked about Hannah Gadsby. It's just a totally different take on comedy, and the 2 specials, and how the second one, she's like, you don't expect what you heard in the first, and then Mike Birbiglia, and then In and of Itself was an absolute tear-jerking mess and that's comedy, magic, and just emotion. Did you see that one yet?
I haven't. No, is it a series or a show?
No, it's a show. It was a live show that they did. Like 537 shows of. I'm so bad I can't think of the comedian or not. I mean the magician's name, but it's an emotional roller coaster, and like the magic element is just part of it, and very dry delivery of humor, and very just emotional. It really makes you think, and I'd check it out In and of Itself.
Okay. Any other rappers you need to touch on, or are you good?
I think I got them all, except for the Fat Boys. Other than that,
R.I.P. to one of the Fat Boys who died a couple of weeks ago, man.
Yeah.
Dude, the Fat Boys were my shit, dude. Anyway.
What was it? Was it just the Fat Boys movie, or no, it's called Crushin', right?
Crushin'. Yeah.
Crushin'. Yeah.
Then I think what's his face from Luke and Laura from General Hospital. He was the villain. Geary. That's a 5-pointer, you sons.
Boom.
Anyway, all right. Thank you, Brett Sheridan, so much, dude. 2.5 hours. I can't thank you enough for taking the time and staying on with the Outlaw Nation crew and everybody. They were so happy to have you on. And Disorderlies. That was the movie. Disorderlies.
Crushin' was their album. Yes.
Disorderlies was the movie. That's right. I love that line in Boomerang. First the Fat Boys break up, and now this. Brett, please plug anything you got, everything you got going on, man. And thanks again, dude. Honestly, I was looking forward to this, and I had the greatest time, and I think the fans did as well. Please, where can they find you and everything you got going on, my man?
I'm just doing SN. I keep and then the Brett and Kate show. People keep asking about the stereo. I've got to find somebody that has time to do it with me. So that's the tough thing with that. But I might, maybe I'll hit you up, John. We'll try to do something with that.
I love doing stuff with you, man.
I did buy a device to do. I'm gonna try to get the Switch gaming thing. I did buy the game capture, so it'll take me a couple years to figure out, but other than that, like John always says, be good to yourselves, do something positive, and I appreciate all your positivity towards me. It really is it is medicine for me to hear your kind words, and I'm glad I make you feel better, and you're never ever alone. John can tell you this too. If you get to a dark place, there's somebody that's going to help you out if you reach out. Don't hide any of that. And John is somebody that I love, that he's open about his past and his depression. And this is a great community we have all over. And I was happy to do it. And it didn't feel like we went that long. It was a really fun time, John. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Brett, so much. I'll let you go. Follow him and everything Brett's got going on at Mr. Wiggly over there on his Instagram and on Twitter, and follow him on Stereo. And who knows, maybe we will work out a deal for me going on there and doing the show consistently with Brett. I had a great time when he hosts those shows. It's nice to get to sit back and let Brett do the and just play the messages. That's been the blast. So we might figure that out for sure. All right, Brett, thanks so much, dude. Have a great rest of your night.
Good night, y'all.
Much love, man. I'll see you. All right, there was Brett Sheridan. He was fantastic tonight. I hope you guys feel like you got your money's worth hanging out with my brother. And one of the funniest dudes I know. He was incredible, and he gave us 2.5 hours of his time, so much more above and beyond than he needed to. You guys are awesome for the donations. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it madly. Hope everyone feels like they got their questions asked and got everything they needed to get. And having Kate Mulligan, thank you to the great Kate Mulligan for stopping in as well and hanging out with us for a few minutes. Thank you to my producer, Sean Baritone, in the background there. Make sure everything went well. Thanks to everybody leaving comments in the chat as well. It was a fun thing to watch in the chat. Please don't promote other people's shows on my chat, please, other people's podcasts, especially from places that I was fired from. So I'd appreciate if you never do that again. Stereo is happening this weekend. I apologize to everybody. We didn't get a chance to do this past weekend because it was my girlfriend's birthday, but we will be back talking the Avengers this weekend. So follow me at The Rocha Says on there. Follow the Lady Outlaw at Lady Outlaw on Stereo if you want to hear our MCU rewatches and all of that. It's a lot of fun for us to talk about that shit there. And we're going through every one of the MCU movies by release order. All right, that's it for me. Take care of yourselves. And let me end the show like I end every show here. And I mean this, and you know I mean this every week when I say it. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you need to do to get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year, I want you to do that. You never know what's waiting for you on the other side. It's been one of the most incredible surprises of my life to see how much my life has changed since that day in 2016, because I found a way to put one step in front of the other and keep going. I found a way to find whatever shred of strength I still had inside me to push and push and push to find my way out. Sometimes the well can feel so goddamn deep. Trust me, I know the darkness. I know how hard it is to climb out of that well. So I'm sending you support and love and strength to help you find your way out of your well if you need it. And we're always here. Go back and listen to any of the Outlaw Nation content, any of the stuff Brett and Kate do, or Brett does, or Kate does, any of the stuff, and they will bring you joy. Any of the Schmoes Know stuff, let it lift up your spirits, let it pick you up out of it and give you motivation to keep going, even if it's just to see another day. Let it keep you going, all right? We love you. I love you, Outlaw Nation. I want you to grow, and I want you to stay with us as we grow. So don't go anywhere. Stick around, all right? I love you. All right. Take care of yourselves. Wear your mask. Practice social distancing. Get your asses vaccinated. And then come back and see us next week. We'll have another guest here, and we'll be going live on the Outlaw Nation all over again. Much love to you. Have a good night. Peace.